Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 249. Had actually quite a few things happen this past week that I'm looking at. I had to pick 3 good topics. This is kind of hard, actually. But I have a bunch of people here with us tonight. I have some returning guests. We got MVG.
Hey, what's going on? Great to be back.
Good to have MVG back. We have Max, who's somewhere. Max is here.
I am in the void. Hello.
You like your background, yeah, it's completely gone. But Max is joining us, still a little under the weather, but he's here with us tonight. So we got Jordan Fringe.
Going on? Glad to be here.
Jordan Fringe with the exploding channel over there.
You know, I just appreciate it. Someone checks out a video. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. We got OJ Player Essence.
I'm back somehow, some way. I mean, I hit you in the face with the paper on my paper route, John, and the fact that you let me back after hitting you in the face and the paper, like with the paper, I'm blessed. Thank you so much for having me back again, dude. I appreciate it.
We got Miss Click.
Hi, I'm here.
Good to have Miss Click here. We got Evan.
Yep.
And Sean said he will be joining us midway through because he has to watch the Knicks game.
The Knicks are losing right now, actually. Did you guys know?
That sounds about right. They just beat the Celtics the other night, like the last minute shot. Sean like ripped his shirt off and then posted to Twitter for some reason.
He didn't rip his shirt off. He ripped his shirt off. He was like, "Oh my god!" He was going nuts. It was really funny, actually.
Don't let him lie to you. That's how he sits around his house normally.
Yeah,
that's probably how he sits around. Yeah, they're getting their ass kicked right now. They're down by 13.
Oh no, Sean!
They're actually almost down by 20. So he might come here early.
Yeah, we might see him sooner
early
rather than later. It'll be good.
Someone has to keep an eye on his Twitter to see what's going on over there.
Yeah, they're getting cooked right now. They're down by 18.
Tell his neighbors to check in on him.
He's gonna show up on the podcast with 4 shirts on. And we got to save it for Sean because he's now the resident VR expert. His whole world's changed this week since he got the Quest 2. So we'll talk to him about that. But we have a bunch of topics to go over tonight. We got Mario Kart 9 rumors. We got the PlayStation VR 2 and E3 2022 problems. We also have a sponsor for tonight's video. That's Factor. We'll talk more about them midway through the show. I want to start with a Discord question, Evan.
We often hear and speculate about the Switch effect. Could it be that the actual gaming public and player base has expanded as a whole, thus the pie is larger and more game sales overall?
I mean, we expect games to games are getting more popular, so yeah, I would expect sales in general. We've talked about that with like the $60 to $70 price hike, if it's that necessary, considering more people than ever are playing games. So, I mean, the Switch effect itself is that Nintendo has a popular system that people who are buying it are actually interested in the first-party games, unlike the Wii, which struggle with that department because people's grandmothers bought it and were like, "Oh, cool, bowling," and then they didn't run out and buy Skyward Sword because it's not bowling. So. I mean, I think the Nintendo just hit all cylinders hitting right now for it.
It's also there too because you don't have to buy 2 copies of a game now. Like it's just all one. Like like if you total up the sales of like the DS and the Wii games, yeah, that could hit some of the totals that we're seeing here, but it'd always be 2 separate games, right? Or like Super Mario 3D Land plus Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. It was always separate. Now it's just one game, so everybody just buys that one game and that's the game. So that's also part of it as well.
Exactly. You want to hit us with another one, Evan?
Any chance we'll see PSP games on the revamped PS Now service?
Wait, what'd you say? You said
I hope so.
Which ones? PSP games?
PSP games, yeah.
I do. I think PSP will be there. I think it'll be really cool when they do it.
This is the Spartacus stuff, right? Is that what they're talking about? Yeah, because I think so. I mean, I think that was part of the report.
They have a PSP emulator, right? MVG? Yeah, they already have it.
I would expect PSP to show up at some point.
Yeah, that would be really cool to see that too. See, they cut some deals, get something like Crisis Core on there. It'd be cool. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, would they do Crisis Core with that mobile thing coming out?
Yes, absolutely. They're going to sell Final Fantasy VII every single way they can, multiple times.
You're probably right about that. They'll have like a deluxe edition, the special deluxe edition.
Okay.
I mean, I'd like to see it. I just think that game should be on something other than the PSP, if possible.
Yeah,
it's kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Let's get more people
PSP and Vita to its extent, both of those have some good games that are just there,
Yep.
I mean, we just got Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
on
The problem-
PC.
The problem is the Vita just had too many features, like those, like more than it needed, with like the back touch buttons. And it's like, how do you make that work easily on some of these newer platforms now that don't have that? So that's the only problem they run into it with that.
Yeah.
Let's move over to we'll talk about the Mario Kart 9 stuff first. Like I said, we'll give Sean some time to hopefully pile in here for the VR talk. But Mario Kart 9, I can't believe it. Apparently Mario Kart 9 is going to be a thing. They're not ending it at Mario Kart 8 or 8 Deluxe, which is weird because you figure a franchise that just doesn't sell, they would just scrap at this point. But this was in a report from Circuit Toto. He put out his predictions, which I do want to point out, he's also predicted the Switch Pro every single year as well. So
That's true.
just putting that out there.
Well, look how vague the Mario Kart 9 is. You know, hey, Mario Kart 9 is coming, and it has a twist. You mean like every other Mario Kart game that has ever come out? That's crazy.
The only one was Super Circuit. That's the only game that doesn't have it. It's just
The twist was it was on the Game Boy.
Yeah. It was like you can do local multiplayer. That was like look, you could have
That
4
was a
Game
big
Boys.
deal.
That was like a big deal.
Yeah.
That was the only twist, but it felt like the Super Nintendo game, like just with some tweaks here and there. But yeah,
that was the
like-
generation of wow, the Super Nintendo can follow me now kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was the twist. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was just like it felt very, Super Nintendo-ish. But yeah.
Also, shout out to Jairi coming a member. Says love the Spawncast. Everyone on.
Hey, Jairi, what's up, man?
So Mario Kart 9 is apparently in active development. Again, who would have guessed? I feel like it should have been out by now anyway, because the last one technically released on the Wii U, and it was what, 7 years ago? 8 years ago? Oh, it's
8
been
years.
It's been
The
so
8 years in
long.
2013,
May.
right? It's like 9 years this year.
No, 2014.
24. Okay, so it'd be 8.
May.
Okay, yeah, 8 years then.
8 years.
Wow,
8
that's
years.
I mean, that's still a lot, because we were on a cycle with Mario Kart where it was like half that time we'd get another one.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot. I have people that are in my stream that are like, "Yo, man, I played this when I was like in 2nd grade or whatever." I played this like I played this like when I was like in middle school, and like now they're like college or then they graduated from college. Like 8 years is a long time.
Yep.
Like it's a long time.
So the way
it's
I'm looking at
crazy. Sorry, I was gonna say it's crazy to think like Smash Ultimate felt like it was such like a long cycle with all of the stuff being released, but Mario Kart 8's just been in the background like, hi.
just hanging out, selling like crazy. It's best selling game on the Switch, best selling game on the Wii U. It's Mario Kart is Nintendo's biggest franchise. It doesn't like of all of them. That's it. It's Mario Kart more than Pokemon, Animal Crossing, anything. It's Mario Kart, which kind of builds us up now. It's been 8 years since the last one. I mean, we don't even know if it's coming out this year. It could, but if it doesn't, we could be going up on 9 years since the last one released. And one of the points that was made is that it's in active development and there's a twist for the game. If it's been 8 years, I mean, I assume this twist has to be like monumental. It has to be like game shifting. Everything has to be completely different when this comes out. Something that's that big of a deal for it to be in development for as long as it has.
Well, we
So,
talked about this.
what are they
years
doing
and
to
years
it?
ago. Like we were saying stuff like the Ultimate version, right?
Mhm.
Take other franchises and put them in Mario Kart as
All
well.
together.
We started seeing that, with 8, like, oh, there's Animal Crossing and there's Legend of Zelda in there. But at this point, if we can't really replicate what Smash Ultimate has done, at least for a long time, the next best place to put all those characters is in a racing game that they already have. And why not just start putting the characters in there and start making deals and have a pass where there's going to be 5 new characters in the game this year. And that's, I just feel like that's their next course to do another game similar like Smash Bros.
They already do that. They already do that a little bit with the Mario Kart Tour game. Like that game gets all updates.
That does get a lot of updates.
It does. It gets a ton. And there's a lot of good ideas. Tour it's mobile game. Like it has all the stupid mobile stuff in it that you don't want. But the game, if it was sped up, and if there was some tweaks to it, it'd actually be a dope Mario Kart game because there's some really cool stuff in there. I don't like playing like this, and I don't like the monetization and some of I don't like a lot of the stuff with it. But man, there's some good ideas that they can take from that mobile game and make it into the next Mario Kart game. I'd be happy with that. Like the good stuff, not the bad stuff. Just want to be clear.
I mean, this would end up being one of the biggest releases in a long time when this thing comes out.
Well, there's still also the concern
Like-
too of is this gonna be like kind of midlife for the Switch, or is this something that's gonna kind of launch the next?
I would
chapter
cross-gen
for
this
the
thing
family?
completely. This thing would be
Yeah.
cross-gen for me. It would be a launch title, and then it's like, oh, it's also on the old Switch. You can get it there too. And I mean, this thing's gonna be ripping up the sales charts immediately. It's gonna be some stupid number. I guarantee Mario Kart 9 comes out and it tops the MPD charts over anything else that releases that month. It's going to be ridiculous when that happens. The only issue it might run into is that Nintendo doesn't share digital
I really
sales.
think one of the biggest things.
Hello,
Max.
I was going to say, I think one of the biggest things that I'm just curious about is how many tracks it's going to have, because doesn't Mario Kart 8 Deluxe already has like 64 tracks? I'm curious if this will have like 80 tracks at launch or something.
I think
like
Mario Kart
that to me is. It'd be just cool if this is just the mega gigantic ridiculous play forever game, which
I mean, just put everything in there. Treat it like a live service Mario Kart. Just constant updates.
Because we made, again, another thing, we kind of made jokes, so like a Mario Kart maker, right? Why can't that be something in the game? You know,
I like that
obviously
idea.
They could separate it and make twice the money, I'm sure, but putting it in here would add this game to live on for so much longer. This could be another 10-year Mario Kart game.
So give it to the players, let them make the tracks and all these.
Well, no, we
things.
still get our tracks, but then you can go in and make your own. Don't just leave it on us to make the only tracks.
I would love to have all the tracks, like, or most of the tracks from the past. Like, if you could have most, that would be dope. Because Smash has like 100+ stages, and I know that stages are different. It's like a 2D stage, and I get that, but it'd be really cool if they actually had like a lot of the past stages, like so many of them.
So the thing that's the issue I have with the All-Stars version of Mario Kart is Smash Brothers works really well because Sakurai and his team was able to make like these characters feel genuinely unique from each other. I'm wondering how they could make these different racers feel like unique from each other to that extent, to where it's like, oh, this is like a whole new paradigm for the game, because that's what would happen with these Smash characters.
Well, it's so tough though, because then you start creating tier lists, and then they start becoming like actually like good characters, and then characters people never play. Like the fact that you can customize and see the stats of all the different like parts that you can customize your car with, or your motorcycle. Like, people already have their preferences, whether they use kart or they use cycle, you know, what tires, you know, what body. Like, I think if they wanted to get complex about it, they could really start creating differences. But again, wouldn't that just kind of go back to Mario Kart Double Dash, where everybody had their own special unique abilities? Because I really miss that. Like, I genuinely, I feel like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is much more arcadey, versus if you had Mario Kart 8 kind of mechanics mixed with the elements from Double Dash. Like, Double Dash is you could switch between your two weapons. It wasn't just whatever order you get it is good luck. You could actually calculate, okay, I want to use this weapon first, and I can switch and use this one. I'm going to pick these two characters together, or even if it's just one character, I'm going to pick this one character because I really like their abilities. I mean, I think that they should bring it back. If the twist is they bring back Double Dash kind of mechanics with stuff, that'd be really cool. But they've already kind of done that in a way, and people had their own unique combinations of characters, but I don't know if they'd actually bring it back. But that's what the people want. Bring back Double Dash, please.
Okay, the twist has to be a really big single player mode.
I hope so. That's what I guess.
Single player mode.
That would be fun.
I want that. I want that so much.
What if it's open world?
Oh, see, now we're getting somewhere. What if it's just Grand Theft Auto with Mario?
Yeah, what if it's just an open world thing?
Mario Kart versus F-Zero.
I don't know about all that.
Maybe it's more like Diddy Kong racing. Like
what
that.
if the twist is NFTs? You know,
see, there we go.
Anything.
People would probably buy the hell out of those, man.
Oh no!
You kidding me? Of course they would.
I do want to talk real quick, like what Click said. Like, Double Dash has so much like tier list whoring in it, you know, like it's really bad. So it's like, if they did that, I would hope that it'd be balanced, you know. I would really hope that they would balance it, man, because, you know, Smash is pretty good, but yeah, they've been doing that for a long time. Smash has been completely unbalanced, and, you know, Melee has some crazy imbalances, you know, like Brawl Meta Knight is way too good. Smash 4 Diddy was way too good. Sheik was way too good. Like, they were like, you know, Bayonetta was way too good, and like they didn't end up fixing all that stuff. They kind of did, but then they kind of didn't. So I think Mario Kart wouldn't be as bad, right? Because it's just like one special power per person. It's not like a whole move set. But yeah, I mean, I would hope if they do that, that's cool. Just balance it, because Double Dash was pretty unbalanced. And you add in snaking, you know, you add in like, you know, two different characters. Like, people had certain combinations just to win. There's the Double Dash combination. If you really want to win, you pick this character, this cart, and that's what you do. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has some of that as well. But just, yeah, not as bad as Click was saying. So
I mean, I kind of want them to make it sort of more like Twisted Metal, where cars had different stats, but then there's like specials on the stage, and picking it up as like some sort of very unique themed ultimate attack. It'd be cool if like
the stage.
Snake is in the game and I get to shoot a Nikita missile that homes on somebody, like a special style of blue shell or something.
Oh,
That's a good idea, because then it takes away some of my problems with the randomness at times. Like I get that's why people play it, but I mean, if you could also put like a ranking system in terms of like how you drive, like based on how good you drive, there might be some type of more skill base to it. The problem is it's just so like luck.
I figured it out.
It's
I know
so
what they're
luck
doing.
based.
They're making a Mario Kart MOBA. That's what's happening.
A MOBA.
Yeah, first was Pokemon Unite, now it's Mario Kart. They're making a MOBA. I figured it out.
Mario Kart 99.
Yo, Mario Kart 99 would be lit, dude.
And
That'd be
it's
so
endless.
fun.
It's
Battle Royale Mario Kart.
endless Rainbow Road until the last person stays on.
Absolutely
man.
0 frames. 0 frames the entire time until the last like 3 people.
Battle Royale Mario Kart. Oh man.
I'd be down for Mario Kart 99. You just hop in, every lap somebody just gets cooked.
They basically need to figure out how to do it without it feeling too much like Mario Kart 8. I think that's the problem they're running into. Is they might feel like they have to do something very different, so it doesn't feel exactly the same. Like when you look at Splatoon 3, you can tell it's different from Splatoon 2, just in like some of the stuff they've shown initially when you're like in like the beginning of the trailer they showed.
Splatoon's so interesting because I feel like for as many games as Nintendo doesn't want to be competitive, Splatoon they do kind of want it to be competitive, and like I feel like the market hasn't picked up on it as much as like if you want a competitive like game to try and play, like pick up Splatoon, because I really could see them like supporting that scene more if they saw the numbers behind it. But like I feel like the twist for 8 definitely was the anti-gravity.
Yeah.
You know, like the twists and the turns, and that's really cool. For some people, for me, it's like it gets a little bit too crazy. And when I didn't play Mario Kart for a while, and like a couple weeks ago we went back to it, and definitely even if you pick very low items on Mario Kart 8, it's still so many items. And take away the coins, man. Like the coins were the other the introduction that they put in. Was that in the Wii as well, or was that only? When did the coins get introduced? Yeah,
coins were on the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. Yeah.
Because they weren't in Double Dash. Did they come back for on the Wii or?
They've had it in certain games have had it. Some games have it, you know. But it started with the Super Nintendo. That's
hate
the
it,
first
man.
one.
Get it out. Get the coins out.
The way that
Like,
the item placement is bad. The item placement is bad with it.
Yeah, the coins are dumb, man.
Because the coins give you extra speed. They give you like you go faster with the coins.
Leave them on the track. Let them fall out of your body, but don't.
That's how they were on the Super Nintendo. They were on the track.
The coins is a staple of Mario Kart. You can't take them out.
You say that, but like I have the most hours in Double Dash, so I think after not having it and putting like thousands of hours into Double Dash and playing with my friends and like getting a banana or a question, like they took away the question box.
No,
right?
they have that.
Is that an 8?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
They need to do that. Have the coins. You got like.
I don't think so. Hold up, never mind.
Keep the coins. Get rid of the rubber banding. That's the thing that really sucks.
Yeah, the thing that pulls the people at the end of the front. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the coins. That way you can set it up so like Mario can buy property in single player mode, right?
No. Hold.
Can buy like his own store.
When I say get rid of coins,
shake down the other stores for the coins.
I don't mean get rid of coins in total. I mean like if you're in first place and you get a box, right, and you get a coin in your hand.
Shouldn't be a coin. I agree. I agree.
Shouldn't be a coin.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't be able to pick
Green
up.
shell banana peel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or music box.
Or I agree. They should just leave them on the track. Just keep the coins. Like that's a Super Nintendo game. Just keep the coins on the track and you collect them
totally
and you.
fine.
That's cool. But as an item, what? No, not as an item. Not as an item, please no. Get rid of. I don't like the blue shell, man. I'm not a fan.
When's it come out? When's this thing launching? It's been active development
years.
Whenever the next hardware revision's coming.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you think it's going to launch with some sort of piece of hardware? They're going to launch with Mario Kart.
Ish. Yeah. Launch window. I would say. Yep.
Okay. I figure I mean, that's such a big title that is to me a launch game for new hardware.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't feel pressed to even roll it out now because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just topped the UK sales charts last week.
Yep.
So it's like, what are they going to do? Sell more? Like, oh no, basically the only competition for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is Mario Kart 9 at this point.
Why mess with it? Why mess with it? Yeah, just wait.
Because I think it's gonna. they're probably getting close to market saturation. They need a Mario Kart 9, so everybody has to buy another one.
I mean, I keep saying that myself, but that it keeps selling, and I'm like,
True.
I don't know what to do. I mean, you figure at this point, if they really wanted to, they do DLC, but maybe they really are just focused on whatever 9 is going to end up being. But I'd like to think it's holiday this year, but I think they're going to save it for next year.
No way, man. No, I never got vibes that was coming this year.
Here's how I do it then. If they wanted to launch this year, you launch this year, and then a year and a half from now, they launch Mario Kart 9 Deluxe.
Stop.
I 100% think that's what they're going to do.
That's how you do it.
If they did it right, so realistically, with the way other things have been, they release Mario Kart, but then there's going to be a sub-service on the expansion pack, right?
Yeah, I could see that. That way, like Mario starts like 100 coins, so he can start his like criminal enterprise in the single player mode. I'm telling you, they're going like Grand Theft Auto single player.
It's actually pretty smart if they do put something on the NSO service.
Oh yeah.
If it's new maps or new modes, like think of it like they do like the tour, like OJ was saying with Mario Kart Tour, right? They have the different editions or cities or kind of campaigns that go on for a while, maybe seasonal events. They could totally throw that up there. And I mean, hey, some people find it worth it. I'd find it worth it, but again, I love Mario Kart, so.
Yeah, I mean, just anything they can put on that online service for like DLC or things that they're supposed to put next to Animal Crossing. Would be good. So that'd be good to see there. I mean, I'd like to think it's coming out in the next 2 years, but who knows? Maybe we could be looking at like beginning of 2024, and here's the new Switch, and here's Mario Kart.
Cross-gen would be the way to do it. Like they did Breath of the Wild, just cross-gen it, launch it with it, backwards compatible. But if you play it on your Switch too, it runs better or it looks better or whatever, So.
Sure. Yep. I mean, Mario Kart would look really good at like 4K. I mean, it already looks good in terms of the art style and the colors and everything on screen. So they have that on the next Switch that has like 4K upscaling and all of that. It could look really, really good.
It runs at 1080 60 on the Switch right now, so it would look even better. You just take whatever you did there and just make it better with the new twist, like they said, new twist.
Let's go over to a Discord question there, Evan.
One for MVG. Have you thought or started making your own indie game? Possibly one for a future Spawncast plays.
Yes, I have. But I don't know when it'll ever get finished, and I don't know when it's gonna.
Hey, MVG ever comes up with any game, we will market that thing every podcast.
Yeah, I am
actually streaming it every day.
Showing that thing all day.
Man, you getting sales, bro? I'll tell you that right now.
I am doing that, but yeah, it's just a hobby project right now. So,
make it based on Sean. Just an entire game based on
we want to
escapades of Sean.
The goal here is to sell units, not to
That would sell units. What you mean?
I feel like it wouldn't be able to be sold in a couple different countries, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Oh man, you're right.
I think the ESRB rating would be like, nope. That's
Australia would slap that down completely.
All we need is US,
no.
baby. That's all we need. All we need is US, baby. We just need about 100K, 200K at what? $15?
They have to pat MVG down on the way into the country.
The code name for the game is Sonic Drive-Thru.
Sonic Drive-Thru. Nights with 3 A's.
Just make Sean flying through rings. That's what the indie game should be. Sean flying through rings and just like Knights, man. But make it AAA though. Make it AAA.
Funny.
What's another one there, Evan?
Is the poor emulation on offer in licensed products such as Switch Online and the PlayStation Classic partly responsible for the high prices in retro game market?
No.
Speculator markets like that, they just go up. It's just passive.
The retro game market is just annoying now. I understand why Sean's getting so frustrated with it. It's hard to do anything there now. I mean, everything's just expensive. I guess it's just because people who were young then are old now and they can afford it. So there's just more demand and not as much supply. That seems to be what it is at this time. I mean, I like to think it'll reset a bit, but it hasn't. And it's just... GameCube in particular just keeps going. Even PS2 is starting to get up there actually right now. On PS1, it's
it's the only time. Yeah.
But what's
the system to buy now is the Xbox. Start getting on that original Xbox if you can.
Xenosaga games. I paid $100 for those a few years ago, and now they are a lot more.
Xenosaga 3 is pretty expensive, I think, isn't it?
Yep, they're all going up.
Yeah, I know I have that one, but that's.
I know Klonoa 2 is expensive on the PS2 right now.
Is it really?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All the Klonoa games are just skyrocketing in price.
Well, there's rumors about there being another one soon. So that'll be
Yep.
yeah. We'll see if that actually ends up happening. We got another Discord question, Evan.
What was your favorite film and/or show you watched in 2021?
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. Yeah.
Oh, it's 2021.
I mean, film. It's either Spider-Man or Spider-Man, and then Cobra Kai for the TV series.
Spider-Man was great. Arcane, animated for sure.
There you go.
Spider-Man
say,
Expanse. I finally watched The Expanse, and wow, it's just Game of Thrones in space, so I loved it.
I'm gonna put Dune above Spider-Man.
I did like Dune.
Really?
Actually,
Yeah,
I hated Dune.
I would agree with
You have
that.
no taste.
I
You're
think
cultureless.
Dune was the best movie I saw last year.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep,
Hands
it's really
down.
good.
Interesting. Okay. Got another one, Evan?
What PS3 games would go onto the revamped PS Plus PS Now?
Oh gosh, a lot of them. I mean, there's so many games from the PS2, the PS1, and the PSP generate. Like, you could just start going down a list and naming a ton. RPGs in particular, we just named Crisis Core, which would be great. Even some games like Mega Man Powered Up, which is a game not a lot of people played. Maverick Hunter X Hunter, that was a good one for Mega Man. But then you get like some weird strategy RPGs from the PSP, like Jeanne d'Arc was a good one. And then the PS2 library is just ridiculous. You can just start throwing all the Jack and Daxter games on there. You can get like the Shadow Heart series, which would be pretty cool to throw on there. I'd like them to get kind of weird with it though. Get some of the niche stuff. Get Mr. Mosquito on there. You know, just a lot of variety. Don't just get the obvious PS2 games. Get some weird stuff on there. I think it'd be really cool. PS1 games especially. Oh, there's some weird PS1 games.
Get Jim Ryan's favorite game, Jumping Flash, on there. That'd be cool.
What?
It is. It's his favorite. He loves Jumping Flash.
Jumping Flash?
Yeah, he talks about it all the time. He loves it.
You get the Mega Man Legends games on there. You get the Misadventure of Tronbot on there. You get all the X series on there. You just go crazy. Just start putting it all on there. It's fun.
Get
I used to think Jumping Flash was awesome.
We need Metal Gear Solid on there. That way Click can finally play it. Okay.
Finally.
Mega Man Legends is a big W.
Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3. Just put them all on there. 4, unfortunately, it's just always gonna be stuck to the PS3. There's not much we can do about that. But get those on there. Absolutely. I mean, there's just, like I said, a ton of titles they could do. And everyone's probably gonna have a different list, but they need to populate that list and they have to do it very quickly. So I'm hoping they show up with legitimately like 50 or 60 games right out of the gate. So I assume we're going to hear about that in the next couple months, because it sounds like Sony's going to have some sort of some sort of presentation the next month or so, from what people are saying right now in terms of for gaming and software. Seem to come up for PSVR, but it sounds like other stuff might be there too. Let's go to E3 2022. Turns out I said I'll try next year one too many times, and I don't think that's going to happen now.
Yeah.
It does appear that E3 has been reworked this year or canceled. We don't know yet. It's not happening in person due to the COVID, the Omicron variant, all of this. And they don't really seem to know what they're doing with it, because people have been asking them in the press, what's the plan? And they cannot guarantee that there will be even a digital presentation at this point, or digital event. And it's January, which is kind of a problem, because you'd want to have that planned out well in advance. There were some other talks coming out saying that they had decided this in November, and it sounds like E3 may actually just be done. Like, it may have just been quietly just cut. So that's a big deal in gaming if E3 really just goes away completely now. They have not held E3 in person for the past 3 years, and they haven't done it. They've only done it 2 of the past 3 because they had to cancel completely 1 year. Where do we go in gaming now without E3?
Yeah, Jeff Keighley's stuff. Summer
Games Fest.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the answer? Really? It's just like we gotta hope somebody else does it.
Unless someone else steps up, unless individual teams want to do their own presentations, which we are seeing more of. Obviously, we're seeing their own direct presentations. I was going to say
Jeff Grubb's Summer Games mess, because he did a good job last year.
Isn't there going to be there's going to be an online E3, right? They said there's going to.
No, there's been no confirmation, and they've not answered yet. So there's serious concerns that they're just not going to do E3 this year. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean,
So
you go to the big names and you go, we're going online. They go, cool, and then they'll do it themselves, right? Like they just don't need to go through E3 anymore.
I think they tried it, and I feel like a lot of companies, like they did that digital one last year, and you notice a lot of those presentations just weren't good. Like Capcom showed up and everyone was like, what was that? If you're Capcom, you're like, well, we felt like we had to be there because it's E3, but did we really have to be there and do that just now? Probably not. I mean, Sony's not there. So
Microsoft Enix sucked too.
Microsoft was good.
Best E3 presentation in a while.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say they did.
Do they
But
need
like
E3 to do it?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's true. Because they had it at their own. They even had it at their own conference. So what was their convention center called? They had it at their own thing.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to do anywhere like set up by E3. They set it up. They streamed it, and E3 just put a badge on it, basically.
Yep.
So what do you need them for exactly? Like Evan said, it's like they could have just streamed. They'd have announced it. Nintendo announced the Nintendo Direct.
I think it's just,
everyone's gonna watch it. So
I think it's just the organization of kind of knowing where things are going to show up throughout the week, kind of having like that label on it, like that watermark you were saying. It doesn't necessarily mean they're providing anything new. At first, it was the venue and the event, and the names kind of carried on. Obviously, E3 week was very exciting for a lot of people. I think a lot of people wanted to see the death of E3 for a while, and the leaks happened, and there was all that chaos. Now, I mean, I think it just, it really comes down to, are we going to have an organized week? If Summer Games Fest is going to be kind of a focus that they really want to have, I mean, I feel like it's definitely going to be ran a little bit differently just due to the personnel.
So,
but it's really having that week to look forward to, where everybody could kind of come together.
The thing with E3 that was good is that people would meet in person, and it was good for the smaller developers who could network and meet face to face and talk about things like backroom dealings and stuff that weren't necessarily public.
It's where a lot of deals get signed. So, indies that are trying to find a publisher for their games, rather than Twitter blasting, "Hey, check out my game," which it's like sending a demo tape to a music producer. It's not going to get any traction at all. But if you actually get appointments with these people and then you pitch your games in person, then you have a much better chance of, I'm not saying getting signed, but you may get signed. I know Limited Run, they're real big on E3 in person. They're very, very bummed out that it's not happening, or at least it's like it's not happening, because the same thing, like they're always looking for, developers, publishers to work with and get, their games published physically as well. So I think that side of E3 is really a part that's going to be very difficult to replace. There are other events like GDC, which we don't know about GDC yet, and that's earlier, but they haven't said anything about GDC at this point. But having those in-person meetings while E3 was, just so expensive and just so this mammoth event, to put on, does have a lot of value to many people.
Of course. Yeah.
So I'm going to say something that might annoy people with it. I think they need to go somewhere else, kind of rebrand E3, like pick a different convention center, kind of rebrand it a bit, because people would always talk about how rough it was when you're there just to get there in the first place. I'm sure OJ can attest to that somewhat, where it was like staying anywhere near LA or in the convention center, getting there. Yeah. It was a whole thing, right?
It's not feasible for a lot of people. I mean, I know they did it, but I mean, I was lucky because I live in California. I live about an hour and a half away, So, but yeah, like just the parking, the hotels, they jack up the prices right around that time too. So like right before they like, oh, well, let's just raise the price. So finding a hotel there, dealing with Los Angeles, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And now you add Corona on there. You layer the potential. I mean, it's a nightmare, and it's not something that
I was there in 2019, which I guess could technically be the last E3 ever, physically, right? In person.
You did it.
And OJ's absolutely right. Like, I stayed in a hotel, food and everything. Everything was just marked up like 40% everywhere.
The food prices are
ridiculous.
Insane. Like, think of like Carnival, then jack that up even a bit more. Like the food prices are. It's It's not even. It's like, yo, like it's like $15 for like a burrito. It's like ridiculous prices sometimes for some of these things. Like some of the food trucks and stuff that's out there, they do way too much. Like I don't even eat anything when I went 3 years. I went 2014, 2015, and 2016, and I don't even eat anything. I would just go there. I would drive there one day, do all my filming, then leave. And I was like, I get the hell out of there. Got on that I-5, and I was like, I'm out.
Well, they've been stuck there. They've been stuck there seemingly this whole time, and I feel like they've just outgrown that area because of how big it's gotten. So they'd have to relocate somewhere that's maybe a bit more set up for them. But I think the other part is they'd probably have to reconsider how they deal with allowing fans and press in all at the same time. I kind of feel like E3 used to just be for developers, press, industry, because then they could go in, they could then relay the news to everyone who's watching at home, which I mean, most people watch at home, but from what I was seeing and hearing, because they ended up letting in so many people, it became hard to just relay information because of that and set up meetings and all of these different things. So
waiting in line forever. Also to play, you'd be waiting in line. Yeah. If you're not top of the top and you don't get those private demos, it just take forever. Because also these real quick, the executives and stuff, they let their kids go. They let their kids go. They let their friends go. They let other people inside. So it's a bunch of people who don't even have nothing to do with the industry. Even back when they were saying industry, dude, some dude is like, oh yeah, my dad works for this company. I'm like, okay, you know, I just want to play the games. I'm like, bro, like there's so many people waiting, man.
I think they could still do something with like fans and people who just want to go and experience it, but they would have to like split it up completely. It'd have to be like a block
side event.
Yeah, they'd have to go to a place that's big enough to where they could actually have, okay, this is what we're gonna do over here. If you want to participate with like the fan area and stuff, you can set up an entire thing, allow them to play, but then you also on like the other side of the convention or something, you know, or a whole other spot near there, we're going to just do all press stuff and everything.
Honestly, ways to do it. I would say just, I know people are going to not like this, but I would say just make it an industry event again. Make it a trade event. Like media, developers, publishers, industry people, just do that. I mean, you don't have to have, you know, lines that last all day. Like when I was there in 2019, they had Link's Awakening, they had Pokemon, they had Luigi's Mansion 3.
How long were those lines?
The lines were stupid. Like people were literally waiting all freaking day to play for 20 minutes one game.
Yeah, one of my friends went there with a press badge, which got you through some of the lines, and he literally waited like 8.5 hours to play one demo. And it was like some shitty Ubisoft game.
No, thank you.
So
not every publisher has press lines though. Some of them just say there's a line, you know. So some of them have press lines, some of them don't. You know, so it's even worse because the press line's long, and then also if there's no press lines, the other one.
There's a lot of really big convention centers here, and honestly, it's a lot cheaper area. Bring it to Texas. We got empty spaces. You can park your car in a field. Who gives a shit?
People have brought up a couple places. I know Vegas comes up all the time. It's like, go to Vegas. They're set up. Go do that.
No. Vegas. I'm with Max on Texas. I think Texas might be.
I'm down for Vegas. Let's go.
He's ready.
I'm ready for Vegas.
Here's the problem that I have with Vegas. You know, we've had some issues in the industry with how certain people are being treated, and I think Vegas might exacerbate those issues.
RGT be fine in Vegas. They don't get any trouble there.
Wait, are you talking about cocaine and hookers? So you're saying?
I just want to go gamble.
Sean would be fine. He wouldn't get any trouble out there.
It's called Sin City for a reason, man. I'm just saying. I've been to Vegas. I don't partake in any of that, but I've seen plenty when I've gone on my trips and stuff like that.
Even if you did, what happens in Vegas, right, OJ?
On a trip you've taken.
Huh?
What trips you taken?
Oh, I was just there to play football, man. You know.
Okay, sure.
I was just there for the football, bro. What you mean?
You just said this is what I've experienced on my trips there. So trips. That's all.
Good quality college football at UNLV.
I just think there are probably a lot of places they could find if they're concerned about congestion away. They just seem like they were originally in LA and then they were just like kind of stuck there, and maybe it's time to rethink the structure and how they run it. ESA certainly needs to figure that out. I'd rather them figure it out, rebrand it, relaunch it, than just not do anything ever again, and we just don't have an E3. But I think it's got to be an in-person event, because I just don't think it has any relevancy as an online-only thing. Everyone can stream now. It's like it's not like how you had to go there and hope someone was filming in the room when like Sony announced that the PlayStation was $299 or something. No. Now it's like you hit a button and you go live, and that's it.
Yep.
Then everybody can see it. So it's they have to figure that out. And I actually don't think we're gonna have anything E3 related this year. Like
online.
It just feels so disjointed and disorganized that I just don't think they're gonna be able to do it. I think a lot of people would pull a Sony and just be like, "We're good."
They gotta get this right at some point.
What were you saying, MG?
I mean, you
Well, that's that.
Hello, MVG.
We lost MVG.
I told you what did I tell you guys, man? The GameCube better than the N64. It's proof. We got it, and this is it right here. You know.
Oh wait, there he is. He's back.
Well,
You're back.
how much? Sorry, I said. Are we going to like rely on Keely's stuff going forward now?
I hope not.
Hopefully not.
I don't want to.
I mean, I gotta give him credit. I gotta give him credit though. He seems to get it organized and get it done, whereas the ESA just seems confused all the time.
I feel like a quarter of it for him was getting lucky because he was just looking at events that were already scheduled and being like, "Oh, that fits." Like,
well, if he has his event this year over the Summer Games Fest, which he says he is, and it's decent, and E3 is nowhere to be found, then it's like, I guess that's what we're looking forward to next year because we know it'll at least happen. Like I know Jeff will try to at least do something with Summer Games Fest. I have no idea that E3 is going to happen this year. And I mean, he's secured an announcement for a brand new system before with the Series X. So we know he can get those kind of announcements now.
I will say, I mean, if E3 does go away completely, that would be I'd be pretty disappointed if that happened.
I would be too.
I'd be pretty sad about that. Look, I get it. Like, it may never come back, physically. It may just be a virtual thing. But that would be a real shame if that was it, But we'll see.
Is everything just going to be virtual now, MVG?
Maybe. I mean,
everything's going to be virtual.
It seems like it saves a lot of money across the board. But I also feel like there's just so much fragmentation. Last year there was a lot of announcements. You were just getting bombarded with stuff all the time. And while some people really love that, I mean, us as YouTubers, we love it because we got content literally for weeks, right? But other people just, getting fed all this information all over the place really can be quite distracting rather than just getting 2 or 3 solid days of just information about video games, which is what the whole point of E3 was meant to be. So I don't know. I don't know which way is better. Like, I know the last couple of years it's been a bummer that E3 has not been around the way it was, but I also see the other side that maybe it is time for things to to move on from the old way it was done, because I mean it was a very expensive to mount a show like that. And Nate's not here, but he will know like the prices that you pay to get a spot there on the floor. And I mean, it's just we're talking millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So
it's not my money. They can spend it. Let's go. But I mean, you'd get like Nintendo to do the cool like setups. I mean, we had Sony with the flute guy. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff happening, right?
That wasn't cool.
You know what I miss? I miss just the old school stage presentations. Like, just straight up, you'd go there, you'd be like, all right, we're gonna see Nintendo. They're gonna show up on the stage and talk about their new system. Or Sony's gonna come out. Microsoft, like, it was just. Now you're right. It is all over the place. Nintendo's there digitally. Sony's not there at all, and then Microsoft's across the street in their own like.
I don't know, man. Center. I don't know if I missed every time. Nintendo had so many bad E3. You guys remember the Wii and the Wii U era? How many of those stage shows were actually dope? Like, I can count maybe one or two out of the whole Wii, and maybe because of the systems, maybe the Switch era would be different, but they kind of did their own live presentation. Remember when the January presentation? Yeah, but when they first showed the Wii, it was pretty cool. Like, that was fun, that was cool. But everything after that was kind of like, this is not a good E3.
Well,
this is not a good E3.
Technical difficulties. I think there were just a lot of like uncontrollable variables. And when they realized, especially after the Skyward Sword presentation, it's like, all right, like, we need to be able to like know this is gonna work when we need it to work. It kind of raises, I guess, the professionalism of the appearance or the credibility. I mean, what was it we were watching? Was Wii Music? for one of
Oh
them.
my god, yeah. Oh.
Which I'm not gonna lie, you get people drinking and you get them in a room of Wii music. It's fucking hilarious. But again,
Yeah,
like,
but at E3 in a press show,
not at E3. Yeah.
OJ, you're absolutely right. Like I think about some of those really bad Xbox E3 presentations where they would have some guy playing Gears of War on stage or something, with a controller. I mean, some of those things haven't aged very well. You're absolutely right. I mean, I think maybe it is time, just to hit people with 40 minutes of trailers, though, a well-paced set of trailers and information. Maybe that's the future of
there is one way to do it that I think Square Enix did like a hybrid between a direct and a live show when they did. So if you've got a big dope game, record something live, have that there, and you're like, oh, this is cool, like Final Fantasy VII Remake. But if you're B-rolling certain games, right? I mean, everything doesn't need to be on stage. We don't need to see what you want to know what the bottom of an Avatar shoe looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need that. We don't need Skittles. That's Xbox. We don't need the Wii. Like that type of stuff is just skip.
But what about the Forza car?
The Forza, they always the Forza car dropping down.
That's
but from what I learned, Nintendo was extremely angry about the 2012 presentation when they, through their fault and also media's fault, they brought out the Wii U. Everyone said it's an attachment. They felt that was one of the major things. And since it was live and they could not edit it in a certain way, that caused so many problems. Whereas, if you go in and you have something, you can edit it to your heart's content in a direct, right? Make sure the message is clear. So that's one of the reasons why Nintendo was already doing that with like the 3DS. They did the 3DS Directs, but that's one of the reasons why they're like, all right, man, we're going to edit everything. We're going to go full with this because that screwed up. Obviously, that screwed them up pretty big.
Yeah, because they still show up to E3 with their game demos and all. They're there for all of that. They just don't go out on stage while they're there. They just play that and that's it.
Like, I think it could do well, like, if you want to make it just industry again, right? Like, you have, like, the themed events or booths or things for press. Like, Nintendo, when Luigi's Mansion was coming out, they rented out a whole building and they made it into a haunted house theme. They had us come out. They had us do the demos. We could sit and ask questions. They had us do different modes and stuff together. They had people come out. They had, like, local families. They had press, and then they had the creators come out. You could do stuff like that, but if you wanted to, like, separate it out into different booths, or maybe it's in different areas, but get the press come out. Like, you could still have a designated week, but again, like, the public wouldn't be open, but it would be really cool. Like, again, going back to the show Arcane, they brought out a whole bunch of people, and the whole freaking, I don't even know if it was like a convention hall room or something, was just Arcane themed. So they had bars and the music, they had characters out there, and they hyped that show up. So people were already excited for it before it even came out. But again, I think it really has to do with, you have to tailor with how media is functioning right now. And if it's not going to be open to the public, you still have to be able to get them to be hyped. Even if you had like an auditorium, right? If you just had like a big giant screen where people could watch it, like, maybe that could work too if you wanted to kind of have more of the public introduced. But again, like, just having people on stage, especially if it's people who aren't very good at public speaking to begin with, it kind of comes across as either ingenuine or really awkward, or again, like OJ said, something comes across completely the wrong way and it ends up screwing the whole launch of whatever you're trying to sell.
I had this. Go ahead, Max.
I feel like I'm just going to kind of miss when E3 was good, because I feel like there was a couple of years there last.
Oh, there were definitely some good years.
I really like the pictures where you'd see like the huge Xbox area where they purposely lit it in green, and right across the hall would be this huge blue area for all the Sony stuff, and then there was all this red Nintendo stuff. Like, it really felt like the console war was this celebration of games there for a couple of years. And honestly, I don't think that heyday's coming back. Like, E3 dying kind of feels like it had to happen.
I think Clicky brought up some really good points. I mean, for me, people go to E3 because they want to play the game. So I've always felt like, why don't you just give them demos? Drop demos. I'm not saying every game is going to get a demo, but like, Link's Awakening, Pokemon, whatever. I mean, drop some demos on the eShop during that week, because that will basically take care of that problem for the most part.
I think they're usually concerned about data mining, right? MBG, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
But what if we got to a point where like game streaming was actually like feasible for that, and it was just a set time, basically when E3 would be open normally, and you can go on there. There's an E3 app on whatever system it is, the Xbox, PlayStation, or the Switch, or your PC. You go in there, and it's basically like, hey, here's E3. You can walk your little avatar to the Pokemon station, you want to check that out, you can walk it over to the God of War station.
It
just streams it
over here.
and it streams. Well, I mean, I'm just trying to help them out with the marketing and all of this stuff, or just have menus. That's fine too. But like Microsoft did their that avatar type thing where you walked around through the history of Xbox, and that was actually pretty cool. It was right in your browser, which they could do with the streaming stuff, and they would get you basically through the line immediately. And you would just stream, and that's kind of how I see streaming being used for games, is more utility rather than like platform. And that I think would be a good case. It's like, all right, we have these set up. They're not going to data mine it because they're not downloading it.
No, you're streaming it. Yeah,
you just hang out, play for a bit, and hey, when E3 shuts down, that's when the streaming shuts down. It's literally open during E3, and they can monitor it and check for any problems at that time. And that would be a way to at least get the public involved in some of these demos. So I think that would be a pretty cool way to go about it in the future. I think there was that Jeff who mentioned, wouldn't it be cool if while a trailer was playing, you could then try the game through streaming? I think he mentioned that. Like, there's a lot of stuff I think they're considering right now. Yeah.
I think the difficulty is, I mean, I love the idea, but also as a developer, I mean, that would take some development time to actually put all that stuff together, right? Away from the actual game that you're making. So you would have to factor that time in. But I mean, if you set out, let's say you started working on a game like today and you said, we want something to present next year at E3, I feel like that's enough time to get a demo prepared, for the show.
And I imagine the ESA could probably get some people together to work on some sort of presentation platform, because they're making a lot of money off the event. I feel like they could probably employ some developers to put that together and make it manageable in terms of streaming some of these projects that are, I mean, especially for indie games, that'd be the best thing for indie developers to be like, oh, we'll just put it here. And they could find it easily and walk around and try our smaller indie game for like 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to wait in line for it?
Yep.
That'd be massive for them, right? No downloading, installing, nothing. I think that is really who that would benefit the most, are probably smaller developers.
What about Cyberpunk? Because they had that big, they had that big locked room where you couldn't get in. You were in only by invite only. You could access it, and they showed that very well curated demo, which was a complete load of bullshit.
I didn't see it because I didn't get the chair on the way out. Not seriously it. They had like a list, I guess, of people that did all that, and they got chair sent to them. You know what
Sony would do sometimes for their big games? When I went to E3, they would just cover them up. You'd have to go. It was like a Magic Mountain ride. It was like a tunnel. You have to like go in and so you couldn't just like film it, right? Like all the smaller games, they let you film those from the outside. Like, but like Bloodborne and like Horizon,
it's like 4 rights and a left to get there.
Yeah, it was like a turn. It felt like Magic Mountain. If you ever been to if you're going like the Batman ride, or if you're going on like the Riddler or whatever, it felt like I'm going to like this tunnel, and it's just like, and I'm pretty close to all these sweaty people, so it's like, you're pretty close because they're all like, I can't wait to play, and they're all like getting like hyped, and they're still, it's like an hour out, bro. You got a while. Like, it's like you ain't, calm down, bro. So it's like, I got tired of that shit. I just got out of line. I'm like, bro, it stinks. I'm out. Like, I just dipped. I'm like, I don't care about Bloodborne. I'll play it when it comes out.
Let's see. Oh, if you had to run, we're at the top of the hour. I saw you mention that before.
Yeah, feeling a little bit under the weather tonight. So it was good talking to everybody. Good seeing you, chat. I'm gonna go take a freaking nap.
Feel better.
Hey, Take it easy, Max.
We'll see you around.
Take it easy.
We should have our resident VR expert entering soon after the Knicks debacle. So I'm sure we'll see him soon. Let's go to a Discord question, Evan.
I feel like we've gotten this one a few times. I've never played an Assassin's Creed game before, and the catalog is very intimidating. If I had to pick only one to play, which would you suggest? I feel like we always go with Black Flag on this.
I like Black.
I'm totally kidding, by the way.
Yeah, that's just for most time.
Did you say you like Black, John?
No, I'm gonna go Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4. I like that one a lot because I think the pirate stuff was.
I said cool. Valhalla because it's 65 hours, so you're gonna get a lot of value for money.
People really like Assassin's Creed 2, though. So
I put like 140 into it. What do you?
I mean, you did.
I didn't even beat the game until like 90.
I would say Black Flag as well. I think that's one of my favorite.
Here we go.
Kiss
The shirt's on. Okay.
I put the Ezio trilogy as one.
Fuck all of you.
I told you he'd be grumpy. I told you.
Something go wrong tonight, Sean? Or
Kiss my ass. Terrible officiating. Terrible.
Yeah, the refs getting cooked by 20. It's the refs' fault.
You should have seen some of it, man. I can't say more than that because I'll get canceled, but because there was one.
Does it sound anything remotely like when someone's teabagging you in Halo?
There was one ref in particular. If you watch the game, you will know exactly what ref I am referring to, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Oh,
Are you sure it wasn't because of the 6 turnovers from your star player? You know, the 1 for 8 from 3. You know, the 1 for 4 from 3.
We
from
also were
Burt,
missing.
you know?
I mean, we're also missing 2 starters. So
I'm just saying, your star player, the big money player, Randall. I mean, 6 turnovers. I mean, that's.
I mean,
not
that
good.
wasn't. No. He played like shit. I will gladly admit that.
Yeah, maybe.
But don't boo him because he'll get upset and he'll cry about it.
Imagine making $100 million and be like, "Oh, don't boo me." It's like, shut up. You make $100 million. I'll do whatever the hell I want.
I am.
I'll boo the hell out of you. I'll go to your house and boo you in front of your house. You make $100 million. Shut up.
No. I completely agree with that. 100%. 100%.
okay. Good to have Sean. You made it here just in time for the VR talk that we're going to get to.
Good.
Because it's a new year. Sean is playing VR. Who'd have thought that would happen? E3 apparently isn't going to happen. And if you want to start off 2022 right, you're going to want to check out Factor, who is the sponsor of tonight's podcast.
Yeah. Love Factor.
Wait, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. All right. Cool. Factor is great because it makes it easy to eat clean 24/7 with fresh, never frozen prepared meals that are so delicious you wouldn't believe they're actually good for you. Factor saves time by delivering chef-crafted meals to your doorstep, eliminating the hassle of grocery shopping and meal prep. Who likes to go to the grocery store?
I hate it.
Does anyone
hate
like
it.
going to the grocery store? Like,
I hate it.
That's no fun. Who wants to
It's
do
the
that?
worst thing ever.
Not to mention the cleanup. You don't have any dishes to wash here with this. Each Factor meal arrives pre-prepared and ready to eat in 2 minutes. It's actually faster than ordering it. Ask Sean. Sean is like the expert of these order-in places. You know, he has to wait like 20, 30 minutes to get these things.
It's true.
It's like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Factor tackles the tough stuff, so you don't have to. Their registered dietitians and expert chefs work hand in hand to create meals with nutritious ingredients, and with more than 27 meal options each week, you're never bored. Factor will even start to understand your preferences. They offer vegan and veggie meals, cold pressed juices, smoothies, energy bites, plant-based bars, extra protein, veggie sides, and more to keep you fueled and focused all day long. Look down below in the description and head to go.factor75.com/plans and use Spawncast 120 to save $120 off over your first 5 weeks of meals. That's code Spawncast 120 at go.factor75.com/plans for $120 off. Thanks to Factor for sponsoring the podcast. So Sean's an expert at VR now.
Yes.
Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. There it is. He orders this Quest 2. He's talking. We're playing Halo one night. He's like, you know what? Maybe I will get this Quest 2. And what was it that pushed you over the edge, Sean?
Well, it was actually Virtual Boy, which I haven't even messed around with yet.
Virtual Boy. What? He's like, I think this thing does Virtual Boy, and it's like, what?
I think this is better than Virtual Boy. I like the Virtual Boy, and this might be better than Virtual Boy. So let me try it out.
I couldn't believe it. It was Virtual Boy, not RE4 VR. Not Medal of Honor.
That was what put it on
Saber.
That's what put it on my radar was RE4.
Okay. So he has this thing now. He's playing. You played RE4?
Yeah.
You played something else too. What was the other thing you played?
Oh, the Darth Vader. It's like a 2-part thing. I did part 2. I don't know. I didn't get very far in it because there's lots of elevators and stairs, because I go full out. Like, I put all the settings on like the most immersive VR on the planet, because if I'm gonna play VR, like, I'm gonna play VR, you know, I'm gonna get into it. I'm not gonna I don't want to just sit there and like click and that's how I move. No, fuck that. I want to walk around, run into shit in my house. I don't care. It can be replaced and get into it. But yeah, like the elevator, like there's one part like very early where you have to like start climbing and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna throw up all over the place. But I held it together.
So how does that RE4?
Is
it something it's worth getting a Quest 2 for?
Yes, 100%.
Really? Okay, cool.
100%.
You know what? You sold me. You put me over the edge. I was thinking about it. I've been looking at it. I'm like, I'm
gonna have a very casual video up tomorrow.
Ooh.
Just kind of sharing I've played it for like 2 hours or so, and I captured some footage on it. And there's actually most of the video is just me shooting the shit over gameplay, talking about why I like it so much. And then like the last minute 40 is actually like me standing up, playing it in real time, which that was
not in the fetal position as you were describing at times.
No, like I like to scream when I play it because like you get sucked into it, dude. Like it's crazy. Like because we've all played the game a million times, and it's like, okay. And really, I'll go ahead and say it. RE4 was never scary. Never. It was never a scary game. It was action horror, and it was something that maybe you felt a little bit tense, but you were never
because you couldn't see
scared.
behind you very easily, right? Like you'd be like, oh, there's someone behind me, but it wasn't like I get what you're saying, like scary, like the older Resident Evil games.
Yeah, like you lost that horror aspect of it. It was more like an Evil Dead, as far as how the game played out. But in this, like, you're fumbling around, reaching for ammo to put it in the pistol and cock it back, and you're just like running for your life, and you hear the Lord Sadler, and it's like, oh shit, where are these motherfuckers? Like, I know what's happening because I played through the game like a million times, but like, it's so tense.
Interesting. Okay.
It's so good. It's good.
Did you see Medal of Honor? Apparently that one's pretty good too.
Yeah, I might fuck around and buy some more stuff tonight.
It has full online multiplayer.
Does it?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, that looks pretty cool.
Wood was like, when'd you get an Oculus Quest 2? I was like, oh, today. And he was like, oh, and he told me about some game that's like kind of like Counter-Strike that he plays a lot. It's like 5v5.
There's a few of them, yeah.
PvP that he really likes playing.
Wow.
But yeah, I saw the Medal of Honor on there. I kind of wanted to check that out. There's a Jurassic World thing that's supposedly really good on there as well, but it's like cell shaded graphics, kind of like Borderlands, which I don't know. I kind of was like, I feel like it would have been more impactful as like, with a realistic style, but people seem to really like that game. So I don't know.
So did the Quest 2 make you more interested in VR because it's wireless? You don't deal with cords, nothing like that. You just put it on and go.
It's definitely very simple. It's very simple to set up. Like and I have a Quest 1 that I use to watch movies only.
It's not like the Quest 2 though. Quest 2 is something else.
Yeah, the Quest 2 is so much better. And there's one thing, like, I don't know if these are like little like wind things or something, but like when you're playing the game, like sometimes it'll just have like wind shooting on you, and like, I don't know, it's really weird, but
there's
like
probably built-in fans with it. It's a standalone system.
Yeah, like it's cool, like but it interacts with the game. Like the Star Wars game, I noticed it a lot more than the Resident Evil game. But
so because I've been looking at Quest 2. It does sound like another Quest is going to be announced in the next month or two. So I might even hold out for that one. It even has a code name and all this right now.
Why did you tell me that? Why did I buy this?
It was funny. We talked about that, and then you're like, I'm ordering it. The next day, we started going over the VR stuff and how Sony was going to announce a headset soon, which turned out to be pretty good because I talked about it in the morning on Newswave, and then that night at CES, they announced the PSVR 2 specs and all of this. I was like, it worked out well. In that report, though, they talked about quests, like the next Quest coming out, like sometime it's going into production seemingly alongside of the VR 2.
That'll probably be expensive though. So like I paid, I got the 128 gig, which is $299. I got it off Best Buy because I had some Best Buy gift cards and shit from Christmas to spend on it. And you I wasn't gonna say you, but I've already said it. You were like, you get the 256, you're gonna run up. Bullshit. This thing is very efficient. Resident Evil 4 is only like 8 gigs. The Star Wars game was only like 3.5 gigs. I recorded like over an hour of footage on here, and I think the file size was like under 1 gig. It's very efficient in storing memory.
I've had a Quest for a long time. I'm just not a VR dude, but I've had a Quest. But maybe this will get me to try it out. How do you? You said you recorded footage too. You can.
Yes. So you there's like more intricate ways to make it easier, but what I just did was I recorded like with this camera that I'm using here, and then you record in the Oculus Quest 2 itself. There you just go to a little recording button, and then you put in a USB-C to regular USB cord into it, which my cell phone, that's how it charges. So you just plug it into there, and then you access the files on there. So the only thing you had to do was just sync it up, which was very easy because it was like when I started talking is obviously when, you know, I'm going to start playing the game. So it was very easy to set up as far as that is concerned. I'm sure there's a more efficient way to do it for like if you're live streaming and stuff, but just for me, like that worked. Like that's all I wanted, because I wasn't going to make the whole video of me standing up screaming at Las Plagas the whole time.
So we have the Quest. Sean's in on VR now, so he's going to be the resident VR expert now.
I mean, it's never going to be the main option, and I don't think it needs to be. I think it needs to stay as a fringe thing, no pun intended, as a as, you know, just an option. More so
just to have that moment of, would this be better in VR?
Yeah, because I mean, like I think, and even in my video I say this, I think a lot of older games like Resident Evil 4 would have new life with, you know, VR, if they made it in VR. Like think of a game like, I wouldn't even say Skyrim. Think of Oblivion with on this. Like it would be,
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah,
it would be so cool, and it's like a familiar game, but with a new twist on it, and the new twist really works well. So
Mario Kart's gonna be in VR.
They have done this though. Like there is Skyrim VR. They've done like Doom VR as well. I mean, yeah, they've already done a lot of this stuff. It's just it's on console only, like for PSVR and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'd love to see options when it comes to this stuff, because I really liked, and I don't know if anyone on the cast played Resident Evil 7 VR, but I loved that one. That was really, really, really good on
wasn't that
PSVR.
Even scarier?
It was definitely scarier. I played it a bit.
It scared the bejesus out of me, and it was amazing. Like there was literally parts where I was like, I got to take the headset off. I can't do this. But it was fun as hell. Oh yeah.
What's interesting in that is they got a lot out of that headset that you look back on now, and based on what headsets are doing currently, it's pretty archaic. Like if you have the PSVR headset, the original one, it's ancient feeling now with what it has, because the new VR headset had all of its specs revealed. We already knew it was at least getting talked about this year because Sony mentioned it last year, even showed off the controllers, but they showed up at CES. And what did I tell you, Sean? What did I tell you earlier that day? I said, I wonder if Sony's going to talk about PlayStation at CES tonight.
I said, yes, they are.
What?
I said no.
Everyone said no. But they you even had a little GIF or something ready to go, immediately ready to go. Yeah, that thing on like speed dial.
I don't recall this.
Immediate, and they showed up, and they had PlayStation VR 2 specifications. And I will say, looking at these specifications, it is mid to high end. It's seemingly just below the Vive Pro, but above what we have with the Index in terms of the screen quality. And they're going to be OLED screens, which is pretty impressive. 2000 by 2040 per eye, which again is above the Index, below the Vive Pro. However, I think the screen quality with the OLEDs will be better than what's in the Vive Pro. 90 hertz, 120 hertz, 110 degrees field of view, which is, Evan, you said that was below the Index.
That should be below the Index, but only by a little bit.
And here's the best part about all of this. You will not need a camera. It's going to have its own built-in cameras, which is great. Yeah. And it's going to be a single cable. There's not going to be this whole, we had like a booster box where you had to unplug and plug things in. If you wanted HDR, you had to unhook it until you got the second one. And like, I was going to buy a whole nother one just to get HDR. I would just unplug it and plug it. It was a whole production to get this, thing hooked up.
Every time I want to play VR, because like there's been some really good games that are coming out for PSVR. I'm just like, I don't want to even deal with like plugging in all those cables again. So yeah, one
cable better. Is that okay? Will that inspire you more to play it now?
Yeah, because it's a USB-C cable, right? That just plugs straight into the PS5. So that would be a lot better for me.
Dark Type actually membered up. Thank you, Dark Type. Said, what PlayStation franchise, new or old, would you like to see added to PSVR 2? Personally, I'd love to see some PS1 and PS2 games come back in VR.
I agree. I think there was some great PSVR games that, you know, could be a lot more improved. But also, I want to see more of those Resident Evil games. I think they're perfect for VR.
Interesting.
I have a great idea. The VR.
You know what? If we're trying to find a game from their past that Sony hasn't been that interested in, and it was brought up, I would not mind getting a first-person shooter game like Resistance in PSVR 2, because they just do not seem interested in making it right now. Apparently, according to Days Gone's director, they don't. And maybe just putting it in VR would at least give it some unique twist to it that they could be like, all right, let's do it.
Just put me in the cockpit of an Armored Core mech.
The problem is,
well, we're gonna get an Armored Core.
You say they're not interested in redoing it, but they'll have to redo it at least, because you need a certain frame rate, right, for VR. Yes. Otherwise, you can't have 30 FPS and motion blur enabled, because that's just not going to work. So they have to basically build a version for VR at that point. I mean, it's not a full-fledged development effort, but they would have to go back and revisit that code base.
We also have the controllers that we've already seen, but it does appear that they are really going all in on the immersiveness of this, I guess you'd say. Because if you remember with the PSVR, the one on the PS4, they had to use like the motion, the move controller. They never really had a controller that they were like, all right, this is just for PS. They basically had them and they were like, let's repurpose this for VR just to see if it works. Now they're going all in. They have the Sense controllers, what they're calling it. And apparently the headset is going to have advanced haptic feedback built in. So it will vibrate on your head, is at least what they're saying. And it'll have 3D audio as well.
How expensive is this going to be?
That's what we're about to get to. Because this is where things are going to get interesting. Hit us with that Discord question, Evan.
It's just given the specs of the PSVR 2, what do you think the price will be? That's literally it. This guy thinks 400. I'm thinking.
No.
I am going to say it's going to be $600.
Yeah, that sounds close.
I agree.
And the Oculus Quest sounds amazing right now, bro. give me that Oculus Quest 2. I'll be all right.
I think, you know, they're probably trying to keep it parity with the cost of a PlayStation 5, but honestly, I think you're right, John. It's probably going to be more expensive, probably 600.
The reason I'm saying 600 is because it's going to come with controllers too. We're not even just talking about the headset. There's a controller involved.
Getting everything, yeah.
And this headset sounds pretty high end actually with everything compared to the older PS. How much was the PSVR when it came out with its old one? Was it 400?
I think it was $399. Yeah, it was
way, like I said, it had like no features compared to this one. If you really side by side, it's not even close. I know it was like technically they were leaning into like a newer field, newer technology and all this, but like I think it's $599 with the controllers, the cable you need to plug it in, the headset.
Maybe two models. Maybe they have a cheaper model somehow, like with less memory or something. Or no, it's plugged into the PS5, right? So
so that's why I'm like, I don't even know how they would cut it down. Yeah, I think it's gonna be $600 for the bundle. And I think
for how many games?
Well, they're gonna package a game with it. I wouldn't be shocked if that Horizon game was a pack in, but I kind of think games that are out now or about to come out are going to have PSVR 2 integration revealed. I think Gran Turismo is going to launch with it. Well, it's going to be there at launch. I think Gran Turismo 7 will have PSVR 2 modes. It'd be really cool if it was just the whole game. But they've already had experience with that with Sport, which wasn't bad. At first it was like, and then they continued to update it and it's better now. But I think that's definitely one that will get it. We know there's Horizon Call of the Mountain that's going to be there too. We still need more information about that one. We're not sure. Some people are wondering if it's a on rails game. I don't know if it will be.
I think it will be.
Visually, it looked pretty impressive when they showed that. For it being a VR game, it looked good.
I don't know. I don't see how it could sell more than a PS5.
Yeah, that's going to be the weird thing, isn't it? It's going to be more than the console by $200 compared to the digital one.
But
isn't that interesting?
But this is my thought process too, though, is like with as many like installations and improvements we're seeing with each new model, unless it is your job, right? Like we are creators, so I understand we're in a little bit different sphere. Like buy new things, try new things, tearing things apart, like that sort of thing. But for the common consumer, right? Like if there's just going to be a newer model coming out that's so much more better or has quality of life improvement or has more game potential, like inclusion, like do you really want to spend $600 again? Because I'm starting to feel like at this point, like that's a lot for
here's the interesting
that could
thing.
easily be replaced.
Well, here's the interesting thing about the PSVR 2 is because it relies on the PS5 and they have some interesting features like foveated rendering, which will help it in the long run for games to look better. Like MVG, you were saying that the games themselves, you're thinking they're going to have to be visually, graphically speaking, lower.
Yep.
Right. You're going to be always looking and be like, yeah, it's a VR game. You can kind of see like Medal of Honor, for example, on the Quest 2 kind of looks like a PS2 game at times when they're playing it. And you're like, yeah, it's a VR game.
Even Horizon. Did you guys look at the trailer closely? It's just got that VR
the jiggle thing.
It's got that VR fuzz about it. I don't know. I can't explain it, but you can tell it's running through VR type thing.
I think the foveated rendering will really help them going forward. And I mean, it's interesting. You can look at videos where it's interesting. It tracks your pupil and it can tell where you're looking, and it will specifically render with the maximum number of pixels, all this, that spot you're looking at any given time. Whereas everything in your peripheral, it doesn't really need to spend as much time on because you're not going to notice it. So because of that, they're able to get more out of the image in the game itself, or whatever they're rendering. It's an interesting technology, and you don't really see that in a lot of headsets now. So that could be something that Sony's pushing here.
This is just for like the high end consumer that has disposable. There is a market for that.
Definitely,
it's not for the Quest, but it's just for the dude that sits there, goes out and buys every single game day one, $60, and says, "I don't need Game Pass" or something like that, or whatever. Like it's for that PlayStation gamer that just doesn't care, because if it's 600. I mean, people will buy it, but obviously it's not in a competition with the Quest, because the Quest is selling incredibly well right now. Like for VR headset wise, it's selling extremely well.
I think it's in that impulse territory though, because it's the whole thing. Remember, we're talking about a $600 PSVR 2. You still need the PS5, so it's $1,000.
So
minimum.
Why not keep it at like $499 at the most then?
Because of the technology in it.
I think it could get there eventually, but I don't think they want to have to replace this thing midway through the generation.
Though, but like,
it has to be about the games. Like, they need killer apps, and you know where I'm going with this. I need that Half-Life Alyx on there.
Oh, okay. So I kind of think it's going to happen. I feel like that would have been an immediate deal they would have been working on as soon as they saw the reviews and everything for it.
You could play that on the Quest. You just gotta hook it up to your PC.
I've heard you gotta get a cable, and I heard it's fuckery to get it working.
That's a lot of work. Let's just get the PSVR 2 and call it.
I just want it to work, dude.
Let's spend $1,000 and get the PSVR and the PS5.
But you'd have to buy a PC with it.
But everyone has one. Not everyone has a PlayStation 5.
I need the 3080 or 3070, right? Isn't that what are the minimum system requirements on Half-Life Alyx?
Probably
it's the higher end video card, right?
An RTX card, I'm guessing.
Damn, you need a 3080 just to play that game?
You need an RTX. VR, you can probably do a 20 series, but you probably have to turn some stuff down.
Yeah, what's that? So we need the minimum requirements for Half-Life Alyx.
Okay, minimum specs: Intel Core i5, GTX 1060, 12 gigs of RAM.
I gotta see the person playing that and not throwing up.
It's just polygons and blur. That's all it is.
Well, can I see on here? Requires virtual.
What's recommended? Not minimum. What's recommended?
Oh yeah, what's recommended?
Where is that going to be on?
It's usually on Steam. It'll be minimum and recommended next to each other.
Probably a 2070.
I think it's in the
2080.
Hold on.
Yeah, because that'll tell you how it's supposed to be played then.
Well, the minimum is Core i5, 1060. Recommended just says requires a 64-bit processor and operating system.
Oh, that's all? Oh,
No,
man,
no,
I got a Dell over there from 2006 that can do
Don't
that.
even need a
Let's
VR
go.
headset, apparently.
Recommended
No, you-
specs: i7 RTX 2070 Super or an AMD RX 5700 and 16 gigs DDR4 RAM.
Yeah, good luck getting that 2070 Super.
Let me see what the
Less than
2070
$1,000
Super
bucks.
costs right now.
Probably about $1,000.
So 2070 Super, yeah, it's up there. It's like
Yep.
$850.
Yeah, I'm gonna
About.
stick with my original point and say the PS5 and the VR and Half-Life Alyx.
I think
Do you
as
think that's
crazy.
gonna sell? Do you think that would sell
That's
those?
I feel like we're watching PS5 sell for $1,000 on eBay. So I think people will buy it, but I think MG's right. We got to see the game lineup.
I don't think Half-Life would sell it, but they need a killer launch of a killer list of games. If they're gonna sell it for $600, then they got to have some money on the games as well. They have to have some really good stuff on there.
Yep.
And I think they have to be games that really lean into it and it can be developed specifically for it.
I think Horizon is good, but it's not enough. This is like, it has to be like 3 or 4 titles that really sell this thing.
Let me ask you this. I thought about this. I looked at the VR, and at first I was like, why would they do that again? I mean, the original one sold well enough for them kind of piecemealing it together, and it was like $400. It sold over 5 million units, which is fine. But I keep looking around. The Quest 2 keeps selling well. We hear about this metaverse stuff. Do you think PlayStation Home's coming back and they're building their own
Maybe.
their own PlayStation metaverse, and they're going with PlayStation Home?
I wouldn't count the idea out.
I kind of think they're going to do it. I think they're going to have PlayStation Home. I think it's going to be announced along with it, and it'll be there day one.
You don't need a beastly card to do it, because the card I have in my computer isn't all that special.
Just get the cable.
And I'm watching somebody play it right now on YouTube, and it looks fine. Here,
Get the cable.
You know what would get me hyped for that? If it was well done, if they did a Mass Effect and it was really good somehow, that would
That's what I was
maybe
gonna say. Mass Effect would be so cool.
that would get me to try it out, even if it was almost like just about as good as Resident Evil 4 in terms of what Sean is saying. Like if they can get that on PS5 and there's like a VR type, I'll try to find a way to play it somehow.
That'd be cool.
Like that'd be really cool, because Mass Effect has all sorts of cool stuff that you could do with biotic powers and all that. That'd be dope with the controllers and like all the different vibrations and all this different type of stuff that you guys are talking about with PSVR. But they'd have to be a killer app, man.
They need a killer app.
It's $79 for for the cable. So if you have it,
Jesus.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what kind of cable is that?
What does a cable do?
Hold on, wait
Does
a
it
minute.
make me breakfast?
okay.
It needs to be an air fryer. I want the cable to be also dubbed as an air fryer. It's
I'm
gonna cost
sitting here
$79.
saying $1,100 is fine for PlayStation VR, but $300 plus $79 is not.
This is a $79 cable. I complained about the $13 Apple wipe. Doesn't
Then you get access to all these games if you have a competent PC. And I mean, I don't know.
It's worth it if you're hardcore into. Like, I see what Sean's saying. Like, jokes aside, like
I want to
it's
play
worth it if
Half-Life
you-
Alyx. Why would
people
you?
are saying you don't need a cable, Sean, or
you're the
cheap on
resident
Amazon.
VR expert. I want you to
Buy that
make
cable.
a video on Half-Life Alyx on your.
Dude, that'd actually be pretty cool.
That'd be actually
you should
really
play
good.
that game, Sean.
So I don't need the cable.
People are saying you can air link and it lets you wireless stream.
If you have a good enough in-house internet, yeah.
Okay, you need to look into this, Sean, because maybe you don't need that $79 cable and you'd be good. But I would like to see your impressions actually on Half-Life Alyx. I think
Best
that'd be
bet is
interesting.
still probably that cable, because if there's a lot of delay on the Airlink and you're looking around and it's tracking behind your head, I can only imagine how bad that would feel.
Hey, you know what? If Sean can do it, that'd be cool. I would be curious to see your thoughts on Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah,
But-
I have to buy a PlayStation 5 headset. It doesn't exist yet.
Oh, you're gonna buy it when it comes out.
No, I'm not. No. Well,
Sean's gonna buy it.
maybe because of the tax write-off, but
I'm gonna buy it.
Sean, you're gonna buy it. You're definitely gonna buy it. It'd be all kinds of stuff you could talk about with it. I think this is Sony's shot at building up their PlayStation VR brand compared to what they did with the PS4, where they kind of forgot about it a bit.
That is assuming you can get one and scalpers haven't just run all over them.
Yeah, that's true. I do think it's that they're gonna get bought up pretty quick. So here's hoping the pre-order pages don't just randomly go live or something. But think it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Yeah, okay, so here's the other question: is it launching this year?
Yes.
This year?
Yep.
This year.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
it's the
believe-
holiday release.
I believe it is, and I think it's coming out before the holidays.
Here's the real question: will it be back compat with PS4?
Okay, this is a good one because they avoided answering that. They did not want to talk about it.
I want to say no initially, but maybe they'll add it later.
I think it's going to be select games at first, and then maybe, as you say, add them in as they go along if they feel like it. I don't think this VR2 is necessarily going to be set up exactly the way that they would need it to be for older. It's not going to have like the move controllers or anything like that. I don't know how much that's needed compared to the Sense controllers or how much that throws things off. I'm not sure. Backwards compatible with PS5 for PS4 games have been pretty good, but no one's going to want to hook the old PSVR headset up again. Once you get the new one, you might as well throw the old one in the trash for a lot of people because they're just not going to touch it again. I bet it's the screen door effect is noticeable on it, whereas it sounds like this thing is going to be like looking through glass at home or something.
I just feel like if they wanted to start really dividing things, if you wanted the new headset with all the beautifulness, you're going to need a PS5. Just push it on out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's I think it's coming out this year. I think maybe September.
Yeah, I think it's this year.
I think it's gonna be something like September. I think they're trying to get it out before the holidays so they can do a restock afterwards. But I think it may go into manufacturing in like the next 3-4 months or even. So at that point, the other thing I noticed, we didn't see what it looked like. They didn't show us what it looked like, right?
Mm-mm.
How weird do you think this thing's gonna look?
I think it's gonna look like a regular VR headset.
I feel like when I see a headset separate, like I always feel like, is that the Index or is that the Quest? The only way I feel like I know that it's the Quest is because it's white. Like it has all the same shapes. Here's the interesting thing.
You bring that up, Evan. The Sense controllers are not white, which is weird because remember they introduced a two-toned DualSense controller. Is this headset just going to be like just like a matte black headset, just completely throw everyone off?
Just going to put it in the shell of an Index and just call it a day.
They might. I mean, it'd be kind of strange because they have like the matte black Sense controllers. I think when they show it, it's going to create a lot of conversation. I feel like it's going to be one of those PS5 kind of moments again, where people hate it, people love it kind of thing.
As long as it's not surrounding of, does this look like a girl's tank top? I don't care. I literally don't care.
I'm looking forward to it. See what they come up with. The specs look good on paper. We'll see how it actually plays out in person.
Sean's going to the metaverse right
Where are you going, Sean?
No, I bought some stuff and I want to see if it's downloading.
He's checking out of the car to see if
there's no app
coming over.
There's no app for that, to where you can check to see your downloads on the app.
Well, there probably is because I already have it on my phone. I'm still at the Resident Evil. Dude, even the fucking menu in this game is like amazing. It looks so cool. For Resident Evil 4.
It's cool that it works with your hat though. You don't have to take your hat off.
You gotta wear it backwards though. Okay, so they're not installed yet.
It's normal for you.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's quit out of here.
Riveting.
And I'm just going.
I wonder what he's seeing.
That's our resident VR expert there, RG85. Make sure you check him out for all the latest VR tips
news.
And tricks.
So I downloaded Void Racing Extreme because it was like $7 and it'll probably make me throw up. VR Trap and Contractors. That's the game Wood was talking about.
Do you know what game on PSVR was just absolutely like ridiculous when it comes to trying to play it and it not like making you throw up? Was Wipeout or Zone of the Enders?
Yep.
Zone of the Enders was ridiculous.
Armored Core, man. That's got to be ridiculous.
Yes, it had a VR mode. I got it. I was like, "There's no way," and I put it on. I was like, "Oh, there's no way. It's
too fast."
Drive Club was another one that was really bad.
Did you even make it to the point where you had the ability to blink around and fight stuff?
Dude, I'm telling you, VR did not work with that game.
That's why I wanted to try the racing game, see if it makes me freak out.
The only thing I'm kind of worried about with the PSVR 2 is that they're gonna attach Astrobot to it again. And it's just, that's going to be its game as another VR title because I liked Astro's Playroom too much. And I want to see them really go like a full AAA Astro's like platforming game that's not tied to VR.
Astrobot was really good though.
It was really good, but I still like them to have that mainstream release because they're not releasing Astrobot to the mainstream then if it's tied to VR.
Yeah.
So I feel like that could be. What? Oh, that could be Sony. That could be Sony's mascot. Is Astro.
You know what you should download, Sean? Is I heard a Spawncast VR is pretty good.
No.
Is that a thing?
If you haven't played Tetris Effect on VR, Sean, that's what you should try.
Oh,
that is
okay.
That is
I want to see you play Beat Saber. You should.
I don't want this comfort moderate shit. I want to fucking. I'm going all out.
Sean,
I turn it off.
Jeff said to get 11 table tennis so we can mess you up.
Okay.
It's table tennis. Okay.
Realistic. Vibration on. All right.
Okay,
right
Sean. We have some Discord questions over there. I'm also get the super chats here too when you're doing that.
Still have a handful. People claim every year the upcoming year will be or has the potential to be as great as Switch's 2017 launch. As it stands now, would the games we know about for 2022 be enough to compare it to 2017, or is there something that is needed?
So 2022 just in general has a ridiculous amount of games that have been announced already.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at that lineup, I don't know how they're going to fit all those games from like all the different companies into 2022.
I would say other than Mario, like we don't have like another Odyssey.
Oh yeah, for just Nintendo, you would need some other big release because you have Breath of the Wild, like for the holiday season, right? Like Splatoon will probably be out over the summer, we assume.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So like, because remember we had like the big game of the year stuff. There was like Odyssey and Breath of the Wild was like right next to each other up there. So provided Breath of the Wild comes out like holiday time, I mean Mario Kart, there you go.
I guess in a way like Pokemon kind of is kind of stepping up a little bit with Legends, hopefully, you know, being towards, you know, the leading the front. And
people are so hopeful for that game. I really hope it ends up being good. People have like their hopes so high now.
It looks pretty good.
Oh, I hope so.
I think it's gonna be solid. It ain't gonna be like, because it's Pokemon, so it's not gonna be like the greatest. Like people aren't gonna think it's like the greatest thing, but I think it'll be solid. I mean,
Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
it'll be a solid game. It's not gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever. I mean, if the graphics were better, people would probably say that. But I think the gameplay looks solid though. From like what we've seen from the gameplay, it looks like an evolution that people wanted. You know, gameplay wise.
I feel like every time we see something from it, it's looked better. Like every time they bring out a new wave of videos of trailers.
Yeah, the newest footage looks better than, I mean, it looks a bit better from what it was. But yeah, I mean, there's Bayonetta this year. You know, that's coming out. That's gonna be like fall, probably September-ish, maybe.
That'll be good.
You know, obviously we have Sparks of Hope, so we have the sequel to Mario plus Rabbids, which was great.
That was great.
We got Triangle Strategy, which is coming out, which Octopath didn't come out. Octopath came out 2018, so there was no Triangle Strategy or that type of game in 2017. So you've got that.
Just in time to get snubbed for its soundtrack at the Game Awards. Very good.
Yeah, just in time. Advance Wars is coming out, so you have a remake. Yeah, you have a remake. You know, so there's definitely some.
And it sounds like they're gonna have some other announcements after Triangle Strategy. So
yeah, maybe Octopath 2, maybe.
It'll be a fun year.
Yeah.
Got another Discord question, Evan?
Now that it looks like GoldenEye remake/remaster is actually happening, what games from the N64 GameCube era would you most want to see get a fresh coat of paint? This guy suggests Rogue Squadron.
Quest 64.
No Mercy.
No Mercy be great, but dude, that'd be so hard to make that happen.
Licensing nightmare.
Did you know there's a way to play that online right now?
Through emulators, right?
Yeah.
Well, through PyPacker.
Oh, interesting.
MVG said something good. So repeat that again.
Eternal Darkness.
Wait, is that an N64 game or is that a game? What system is that on?
Started life on the N64.
But what system did it release on?
But it was going to be an N64 game.
But what system did it release on? The GameCube. Okay, GameCube.
Don't make me say Blast Corps.
Dinosaur Planet.
Dinosaur Planet's fire.
A new coat of paint. We go with Battle Tanks.
That was a solid series.
That was a fun series, wasn't it? Global Assault. That was a good game.
The advancement that came out for 2 was great, just because all the tanks had a different functionality.
Get the Sidewinder tank. Cool. That was great.
The hover tank to go over water is awesome.
Yep.
All the games that I want are like they already done it. It's like, what about Tony Hawk? It's like, well, we got that.
Got no choice. It's Quest 64. Let's go.
Yeah, Paper Mario. Give me a new coat of paint with Paper Mario, please. Like, that's not Origami King. Give me an actual like RPG Paper Mario. There we go. That's what I want.
But Wave Race.
Yeah, the
With
GameCube
new
is
technology.
No, it's not.
Blue Storm's better.
No,
Yeah, it is.
so
no,
good.
no,
Blue
it's not
Storm's
as
better.
good. No, come on.
What?
No,
You know it is.
no, it's not.
Fuck Blue Storm. That game sucks.
Guys are tripping. All tripping. Blue Storm doesn't suck.
It's not good.
I don't know.
After listening
got
to Nate the Hate podcast with Sony's presence in Japan disappearing, do you guys think that Microsoft would take advantage of that and become that JRPG company?
No.
I think they have hopes and dreams to do that, but I don't think that would ever actually happen.
I think they have hopes and dreams too, but like they'd have to dedicate a lot to make that
A
happen.
lot of resources, a lot of time. They've done it before and they failed. I've never seen somebody go so hard in Japan and end up just not failing in a bad way, but it just didn't work out. They spent absorbent amounts of money in Japan.
They tried really hard on the 360 generation,
Yeah,
and I mean they had some legitimately good RPGs that were just on the 360.
Not legit, no bangers. Like Blue
There were
Dragon
good
is
ones on there.
good. Lost Odyssey's incredible. You know, so they had Eternal Sonata. They had
I remember Eternal
timed
Sonata.
exclusive Star Ocean 4, Eternal Sonata. What else? There was more that they did. Tales of Vesperia. That was a timed exclusive. They did a lot. Like the Last Remnant. I mean, like there was they just were spending money left and right, and that got them about 1.3 million lifetime to date in Japan. 1.4. It wasn't even over 2 million lifetime to, like after spending all that money. So
Oh, that's right. They had Infinite on Discovery too.
Yeah, Infinite on Discovery. There was like some Square Enix stuff that they did. They were able to get Final Fantasy 13 on the Xbox too. They were able to.
That was a terrible release,
Yeah.
though.
But at the time, it was a huge. It was because at the time it was that was only PlayStation. The main ones were only on PlayStation. So at the time, it was big for Xbox to get a Final Fantasy game that wasn't online, like the Final Fantasy 11 or whatever.
I remember it had like compressed movie files or something, so they were really weird looking. And didn't it come out on like 2 discs, something like that?
3 discs for
3 discs,
Final
yeah.
Fantasy 13.
It was
3 discs.
Nuts.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 discs.
One of my friends is going to trade in some of his physical first-party games like Splatoon 2, Breath of the Wild, Yoshi Crafted World for eShop cards in order to buy several eShop games on sale. Is this a good idea?
Sounds like a terrible.
Go ahead, OJ.
Sounds like an absolute terrible idea.
I think we're gonna hear more and more of that over the next couple of years. People trading in their physical stuff and just getting all digital stuff on like even like a portable system like the Switch. I kind of understand it for the convenience factor, but man, that's sad to hear.
If he really needs it and like you gotta have the money, then okay. But I think in the long run, you're gonna say I shouldn't have done that. It's gonna be a bad decision in the long run.
How many people do that now? They're like, man, I shouldn't have traded this in, or I shouldn't have given it away, or whatever. Like people are still saying that to this day. Like, just put yourself in the shoes of like, I don't know, even like 5 to 10 years later. Like, just think about it.
Yeah. Even when I was broke, I still didn't want to trade in my stuff after I got older. Once I got a little bit older and wiser, I was like, okay, I need to hold on to my games. Even when I didn't have money for new games, I would just wait and just save it till I had the money. And then I just got it, you know?
So the reason, especially right now, I would say is to not trade in your Nintendo stuff for eShop cards or anything is because one, they'll retain their value over time. But
yes,
the big one is we don't know if Nintendo's going to have backwards compatibility for the next generation one. We don't know if your network stuff's going to transfer over. We don't know if the physical cartridges are going to slot in. So in that case, I would keep your stuff because if you do want to trade in and move up to the next generation, you can then trade in all of your physical stuff. Your digital stuff isn't getting traded in. So that's, just until we hear from Nintendo confirmation, whenever we get to the point of next gen Switch stuff, just to verify, because now if you do that now, you're kind of locked into like, here's hoping this digital stuff transfers. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last one for MVG. Have you played any Infamous games? If so, do you remember Infamous 2 UGC missions where players create their own mission? It's kind of like a stepping stone for programming.
I never played Infamous 2. I only played Second Sight on Second Son.
Yeah.
So I don't, but Fringe actually would be better suited to answer this question because I know he loves all of them.
He's a big Infamous fan. Yeah.
I never played 2, but that sounds interesting, that mode. I may check it out based on what you said, so I'll take a look at it.
Played them all. I love Sucker Punch. They're great. Really good. Really good.
We
games.
need the next Infamous. That's all I know. Okay. Second Son's very good. You can play it right now on your PS4 or PS5. It's still very good.
Yep.
Recommend it. Has actually hasn't aged that badly, to be honest. The visually it still looks good. Gameplay is still fine. Let's see. I'll go through some of the super chats as we finish up here. Shepard says, I can't believe I waited so long to play Horizon Zero Dawn. Amazing game. And can't wait for Forbidden West. Have a great night. Yes, definitely check it out. It also has that patch now for 60 FPS on the PS5. So definitely a good time to check it out if you haven't yet.
I'm gonna replay it again on the hardest difficulty right before the next one comes out, just to kind of prep for it.
The hardest
again.
difficulty?
Yeah, I always play the games on the hardest. I always play the games on the hardest difficulty. If I'm gonna play a game, it's gotta be. I gotta get the most out of the game.
I play straight easy mode and just race through the game most of the time.
I can't. I used to. Well, actually, no, I never did that. But I don't know. There's something about if I'm playing a game, I want to get invested. I got to be challenged. Otherwise, I get bored. Like Tales, even on the hardest difficulty, it's just.
Even when you're streaming.
When I'm streaming, yeah, I gotta be like engaged. Like the games, I'm not like a super elite gamer or anything, but the games today they're easier than they were back then. So the normal mode is easier than what you would get before in the past.
It probably does depend. But I'm like thinking like, man, if I like streamed God of War on Give Me God of War.
Oh gosh.
I probably
some of the Valkyries. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I feel like that it kind of takes away from the balance of like story to gameplay.
Absolutely. That's why there's
what kind of game you're playing though.
Absolutely. I think there's difficulty levels that's always good, and it depends on how good you are in certain genres. Like if I'm playing a first-person shooter, I probably wouldn't play that on the hardest difficulty because I'm not great at first-person shooters. But if I'm playing like an action game or an RPG, yeah, that's going straight up to the hardest difficulty because I'm better at those. So I think it also depends, on what type of game you're playing.
This is from Cyber Matt saying, after having a hard day at work, you guys really cheer me up. Thanks. You got you, Cyber Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Demi says, I'm sad that the 3DS is now more expensive than an Xbox Series S. Dude, the 3DS got crazy out of control.
Yeah. I gave it like about 5 of them away on videos last year, and I'm like, damn, maybe I should have held on to one.
Had a small fortune right there, MVG.
Yeah, I had the Japanese LL that really, really liked, and I gave it away to competition. I'm very happy for the winner, but I'm like, man, kind of wish I held on to one of those.
If only.
Anyway. I live retro says, Happy New Year, Spawncast. Do you think bad remakes or ports increase the value and desirability of the original game? Oh, like if a port's really bad and people then rush to find the original?
They can. I think there's definitely some merit there to that.
Most of the bad ports, though, well, I guess I can't say that because you have those. Never mind.
Glenn says, hey, cast and crew, what's the team's thoughts about video game statues from companies like First Four Figures and Gaming Heads? Love the show. Jordan, what are our thoughts?
I like them. I got a life-size Spyro back there with a littler one next to him.
Good quality?
Spyroception.
Oh, yeah, no, it's all resin.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I haven't picked up any of those yet. I know they're very expensive, but I would need a good place.
I've had several on pre-order for years because they take forever to make them.
They do, but they give you like a number and everything, and they're very sweet. Like if something were to happen, because they are fragile and hand painted, like if something were to break, you could like send in your number, what statue you got, and they'll send replacement parts. But yeah, I have like a giant, probably about I think 3 or 4 years ago, I got a giant like 4-foot Link riding the Loftwing when they did the Skyward Sword edition. It's sitting in my entryway. It's beautiful. But yeah, it's definitely an investment piece, but it's something that you put away where like random people or cats or kids aren't gonna
hit it,
scrape it, because it will, like if you like rub it up against a wall or something, it will leave paint because it is hand painted and it's not like, it doesn't have a protective layer over it. So you do have to be careful, but they're beautiful pieces, and put lights around them, or like Jordans, they light up. They're gorgeous.
Cyberman says, I have a feeling PSVR 2 is going to be expensive. Do you guys think they will try to make it affordable, or they just expect us to get a second job? They will expect you to get a second job. That's I'm telling you. I think that price is going to shock some people when they announce it a little bit.
That PS price was like a whole month's of salary for me back in the day. I was like, I already have a job.
Yeah. Well, Luxian asks, think Nintendo will eventually leap it into NFTs.
No.
Not it. We're trying to get Nintendo to do like
It was
voice
almost there
chat
with Cooking
online right
Mama.
now.
They don't even have themes, okay?
Yeah.
I
I mean, if you're saying 50
What do you
years
think
from
the
now,
T
I mean,
stands
probably,
for?
but
NF themes.
I mean, if it goes in that
no
direction
fucking themes
for like
you.
for you know how everyone thinks it's gonna go there, then I mean, probably 50 years from now. if
Every
that's the
company,
case.
every company will do NFTs at some point. Just like every company, they would say this question was like 15 years ago or whatever. Are you going to do microtransactions? Yes.
Yeah.
Eventually, every company will do
10
NFTs
years
because
time,
people.
maybe.
Yeah, because people buy NFTs. That's the reason. If nobody bought it, then they wouldn't do it. But people make a ton of money off NFTs, so therefore, yes, all companies will do it at some point. It'll be there. There'll be a Spawnwave NFT at some point, probably.
Let's see. This is from
You
Zoom
got the
said-
guy to do it. You know it's gonna. You got the guy to do it. You know he can do it.
I will say I think Nintendo is it's going to be a minute for that. I think any first party, Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo try it, it's going to be a long time. I don't think they have any interest in that.
I think the concept could be interesting though if you had the dedication to create, like, say for example Splatoon, and then you have Splatoon 3, Splatoon 4, Splatoon 5, and it continuously evolves if things were to transfer in between things like that. If we're going to be for purchasable things for games, maybe. But again, like 10 years, who even knows what the landscape's going to look like?
Sounds like they'd be giving up control. I don't think those first parties want to give up control.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I don't believe Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo, or even Valve would be doing it, because they'd lose control over it. They don't want to.
Yep.
Zoop says, no, OJ, I don't want to play a zombie game.
I know what he's talking about. I forgot what Zoob was saying.
Probably
Shout outs to
Resident
Zoob. He's the homie.
This is from Big saying, if you had to play a turn-based RPG you've never played, what would each of you choose? Pick for RGT2. Well, RGT's back from the metaverse. He can pick two. So if you had to play a turn-based RPG you've never played, what would each of you choose?
I've played every single turn-based RPG ever.
Turn-based RPG I have not
I
played.
think any of the ones I've seen that I liked, I've played. So
No, there's gotta be something. Well, I mean, honestly, I can just scroll through the eShop and pick one now, because there's probably plenty of them.
Just give me a random Pokemon game. One of them.
Gold and Silver? You've never played that, right?
Nope.
There you go. Gold
Before
and
her
Silver.
time.
It's a great
Oh,
game.
Gold and Silver were good.
Yeah, I never played those either.
Eh.
Like Gold and Silver. Bam.
Pokemon wasn't my thing growing up.
I know. It was the devil, right? You said your parents said that?
Huh? There's something about subliminal messaging. Some with the marketing they were doing.
Yeah, I remember you said something about that.
Well, I thought the devil was her thing when she was growing up. That's what it made it sound.
No.
devil's
Her
always
parents didn't
big.
like Pokemon. They said that, like, which that was the thing, by the way. Like, there were parents that were like, no, this is
Advertising?
like,
Oh no, yeah, like there was like a whole like crusade against them.
yeah,
Like,
there was a
"You're
big,
devil."
yeah.
You know, I've always wanted to play, I never played them back in the day because I just had it on the PS1. The Monster Rancher game on the PS2. They had 3 and 4.
Mm.
That
Isn't
would
there-
probably be one of the ones I'd want to play.
Isn't
Just
there a
to-
Monster Rancher remake coming to Switch?
yeah, but it's
It's
missing
actually
the
on my-
music
it's-
function.
It's on my Switch right now. Actually, I just haven't played it yet.
there
But
you
it's but you don't actually put the disc in. You just type in like codes, and it gives you them.
Well, I didn't think you would type on the desk.
I can't. I just wanted to put a music CD in my Switch. Okay,
We'll make it happen.
they should have hired MVG. You could have ported it. That was the thing that was really cool back then. I was like, okay, this is like legitimately unique and interesting. But
I can't think of. I played all the RPGs I want to play. I can't think of anything.
this is
Oh, I didn't.
what do you got, Sean?
Here, let's look at the 10,
Oh god,
the 15 turn-based RPGs of the decade ranked. Final Fantasy 13. I never played that, so there we go.
What did you said? Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah.
Oh, Lightning Story.
Wow.
Pokemon Y. Never played that.
No, play Final Fantasy 13. It's on the Xbox One or series
No.
right now.
The game's kind of corny.
Undertale. There you go. Never played any of
Oh,
those.
you should not have said that out loud.
Oh no.
No, everyone
Hey.
knows that I don't like that game.
Yo, Undertale's music is lit though. I haven't
Yeah.
beat. I've played Undertale. That music is incredible.
Undertale
So good.
is for Earthbound fans, and I'm not an Earthbound fan.
Wait, hold on. Have you played Earthbound?
I never finished it. It's not that good.
Did it wipe your save file at the end of the game? Were you playing a hack copy of the
Yeah, I was
game?
gonna say, did you get to the end and it erased it for some reason?
No. I played like a couple hours of the game one time when I was like in my early 20s. Because everyone was like, Earthbound, you never played Earthbound, you Sega Genesis fuck. I was like, okay. And I played it and I was like, it's not
Very weird game. Very weird. Not my favorite game either. I played and beat it, but not my favorite game. But yeah.
Interesting. Christabel says, should be an exciting year of video games for all. Great first RGT live interview with MVG. Can't wait for rest of Spawncast next and Black Keely Part 2.
That was fun.
I used to have Black Keely on there. You guys do the interview the entire time in character.
The video on Sean's second channel is really good. If you guys haven't checked it out, as an interview between Sean and MVG, it was off the rails at times. So it was a very entertaining listen.
We talk about drugs and Madonna and
Donna licking butt.
It was.
You guys would be surprised at some of the people who listened to it too that mentioned it to me.
Good.
I'll let you know, but they say they enjoyed it.
I liked it.
Good times.
Spoilers, it's one of his younger kids.
No, definitely not one of them.
God, no.
Jalen says, dear gaming companies, we'd really appreciate it if you stop selling NFTs. Sincerely, the gamers. I mean, what is everyone? Is everyone games?
I mean, they signed it gamers, but
NFTs,
gamers are
right?
definitely
That's
going
what
to buy
everyone
it. So not all
I don't know.
gamers
You know
signed
what?
off on that.
I'm curious. Okay, so these things
forever
are going up on auction this week.
Oh, the Castlevania ones? Just right click them and then they're yours.
Wednesday through Saturday, they will be on auction. No one's really bought the Ubisoft stuff yet. Like, that has not really transacted.
I have a question about the Castlevania NFTs, and I'm sure Evan or someone smarter than me about NFTs will answer this for me. But if I buy a Castlevania soundtrack NFT, can then I put that in a YouTube video and never get a copyright claim on it?
I don't believe so.
That's the thing.
Point of this?
It's the concept of basically buying a record or a CD or something, but it's not.
Oh, but I own that song now.
Yeah, I bought the song. It's mine.
You own
that version. You own a copy of it.
Yeah, you own a copy of it.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's not. It's not good.
The utility of the token you are purchasing is giving you the soundtrack.
But that's like buying something on iTunes, isn't it?
But it's an attempt, and I'm not saying this is great. I'm not saying it's thought out. I'm kind of saying it's stupid. It's the idea that you could be like, you know what, I don't care about this CD anymore, and you can just post it on eBay and actually fully sell it, even though people are probably sitting there being like, I already have the MP3s, I don't care.
Dude, somebody has bid $400 already on the Vampire Killer song.
What? No, really?
It's got to be money.
That's actually pretty cheap in NFT land, though. Like, somebody found that on the sidewalk.
124 on Bloody Tears. Like, okay,
that's not actually a lot.
If I buy this shit, you know what I want to be able to do? I want to be able to go in there and copyright claim every single fucking video that uses that song, and then I get the money from it because I own the song. That's the only way any of this makes sense.
That's probably my favorite thing with the NFTs right now on Twitter is when someone shows what they bought and then everyone changes it to their avatar and starts replying. The guy just flips the fuck out.
It's no, it's like a lot of times you see these things going for tens of thousands of dollars, some crazy amount. So when you just said $100, like, it's actually kind of, I mean, even that's kind of embarrassing for Konami.
This shit's stupid, man.
It really is low.
Could you do like NFT of bathwater?
Did you see the fart girl?
On Twitter, fart girl said she was selling NFTs now. So
over farts in jars.
Again, that would be a utility. That'd be like, why do I own the token? And the token gets you a jar of farts.
A jar
of farts. That chick said she made like 20 grand selling her fucking farts.
I want a jar. Get a fart in a jar. I don't.
Honestly, like,
listen, we have a marketing slogan, so
we're at the point where we just need to nuke the fucking world. And
I'm down. Let's go. Push the button right now.
And and then they could start a new society. But at this point, man, we're so far
we'll be stronger than
they tried to convince all of us to go to college.
In jar tweet trucks.
No, this is what happens because we went to college. This is what happens.
Oh no, excuse me. She made $200,000 from selling fucking farts.
Bro, I'm doing it wrong.
Bro, here's the fucking. Let me give you a life tip here, kids.
Oh,
if you're out there
Don't listen
buying
to
farts,
it, definitely. But yeah, here we
if
go.
you're out there
The
buying
disclaimer up.
farts from a chick, first of all, they're probably not even real farts. Get a hooker. Get a hooker and be like, yo, $50,
Okay.
fart in my face. And then bam, you're good. You got a better experience.
You could own
probably.
the fart.
You
That doesn't sound like a good
To be clear, he's saying that. To be clear, he's saying that like no one does it. There's probably people that do it.
But it's better than giving it to some random chick who's just farting in a mason jar and sending it to you. What are you buying? The mason jar? No. If you want the fart experience,
Dude, mason
get a
jars are actually
hooker.
kind of rare right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Or you
There
can just
are
be a
weird people like
responsible
this,
human
though.
being, get in a committed relationship, and then you get unlimited farts in your face, bro.
I don't want, but people
I don't
want.
think
The
that's a
Dutch
thing,
oven of
though.
life.
Like, how do you bring, like, I feel like that's something that you would need to bring to the table, like, before you start dating. Because, like, imagine you're dating someone for, like, 4 or 5, this is why I don't date people.
Done.
Imagine you're dating someone for 4 or
Done.
5 months and they're just
Done.
like, hey, I
Sean,
want
it's 2022. Anything is possible.
yeah, but then you're just like,
Everybody
hey,
farts. I read the
so,
book.
I want you to fart in my face. Like, I feel like the relationship is just going to go completely sour after that. And then you've wasted the
Because
4
of the
or
smell,
5
yes.
months. Yeah.
It seems like something my skin tone just don't get into. I'm sorry. I'm gonna see my way out of this conversation.
prefer to
but
prevent my own pink
with
eye, thank
buying
you.
Parts and all this stuff, man. I'm good. This is like a whole new level of simp. Like this is like it's for real.
Listen, I'm just saying if you
This
took
is
care.
cold.
Listen, I'm just saying if you took care of me. I don't.
It's called make and bank. All right. These are ideas that people are paying for.
Until you end up into the hospital. Like she said, I was in the hospital. I almost died. Ooh.
Yeah, I was eating.
NFT version now.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
Dude, NFT hospital bill?
That might be a new question.
many
on
digital
my
farts?
show.
What's the question, Sean?
What would you buy farts for? What?
How
How much for?
What did you pay for a mason jar of my fart?
Achievement says Phil Spencer has stated that he believes NFTs are more exploitative than entertainment and doesn't want the Xbox brand directly associated with NFTs.
For now.
Well, guess what
Directly-
Microsoft wants to do?
Directly associated.
Imagine if you had a kid and your kid grew up to be a fart person. Like, how do you fucking explain that?
If
Like,
I'm
dinner
if
and
I'm
stuff?
living in his
so
pool house
I mean-
on his mansion, I don't give a shit.
they're making 30. If they're making 30 grand a week,
That's true.
Yeah,
Let
come
him-
on,
let him
man.
hustle,
Secure-
man. Let
what
him
happened
hustle.
to secure the bag, Sean.
yeah.
I mean,
This
yeah,
guy went back on secure the bag, gave up his god of profit
No,
in
I
an
love
instant.
you.
You know
that.
well that if you could launch an NFT right now and people would buy it, you absolutely would.
Bro,
Yes,
sell
'cause I love
NFT
money.
of your ass crack.
Exactly.
People
Secure-
would buy your NFT of your ass crack. Come on.
Secure the
Secure the
digital
jar.
bag.
Secure the
one-on-one
job.
crack shot.
Share the chart.
Shot.
I feel like you would need like a way, like that's got to be like I want to know what the process. Did she ever tell what the process was? Like, did you
Yes,
just
she
hold
did.
it up there?
She
okay.
did.
What do? You
She
hold it
said
up
that
there
she
and then-
ate a bunch of black bean soup and like.
No, I
it
just
was
mean the process of creating the product.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
Yeah,
you
that's what he was
meant
going
farts.
over.
No, not like how she got the farts, but like how you secure them into the jar.
You just take it and
Put
you
the lid
just
back on.
You fart in a jar and then you close it.
close
mean-
it as quick as possible.
I mean, if it's happening a lot in a room, she could probably just sit there and wait and then close all the jars.
Just like scoop it out of the air.
like Link Legend of Zelda.
Oh, right here. There it is. There it is.
It's gonna catch somehow. Like
That's that fairy.
How do you think she does it, John?
I think she just buys them out from Kmart and just ships them out. She doesn't even do it.
Click
Yeah,
is
no,
so
she
red
probably
right now.
goes on
Click-
Amazon,
you ever
buys a
experienced this,
$5
Click?
fart
No,
spray, and
I'm
just sprays it
fucking
into the jar and
pissed,
closes
bro.
it.
I'm fucking pissed because I try to be as legitimate as possible, and I can just be
Here?
selling my
No.
flatulence.
You need to.
Yeah.
No,
We
bro.
will all
Do it.
support you.
It's another
No.
revenue.
I'm not
stream.
buying it, but we'll support you.
Yeah.
Revenue
Literally.
stream.
You do
That's-
it.
that
I'll
sounds
buy
like
one and
a-
review it.
That sounds like a
Don't tell the
fun.
IRS about it.
And we both make money. Fuck it.
Sean, second channel, buy a fart jar, review it. Just do it. Just do it.
That's the thought. Here's a jar.
Little clip art
Sounds like
cloud
a-
of brown inside.
Sorry.
sounds- That sounds like a fun conversation for H&R Block.
What was this charged for? It was for a review product. You didn't label what it was.
What is your job? I'm a
I'd like to claim
extraordinaire.
one fart in a jar, please.
Extraordinaire.
The jarts.
Start extraordinaire. A jart extraordinaire. Yeah, that's right. A jart.
Jart GTA G85.
There's people selling. There's people selling them, but on eBay. But like they're just showing the jar. Like I feel like you need to show the person as well.
We want to show the fart.
Well, no, I mean
The
this should
sequence.
show the person who created it, so that way you know
where you're getting it from.
Yeah, you don't want a dude's fart or something like that, or maybe you do. Who knows? In 2022.
It's from Plays saying, what PlayStation franchise, current or past, do you think would be the best application for PSVR? I think a VR Killzone game would be amazing. I just like to see a good first party shooter. That'd be good. Multiplayer
shooter.
Yeah, something from one of Sony's studios. I think that'd be good. I mean, otherwise, obviously, driving games, those are generally people look towards. Ricketts says, OG, I hate how these demons in SMT5 will tell you to run your pockets and then run away.
They'll take your money?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And then run away.
You got to be careful about that. They will take your money. They will take your money. So, yeah. But if you pay them enough, they won't take your money. Like they'll ask multiple times. But if you ask them, like let's say you pay them one time and then they ask you again for money, if you say no, I'm not giving you that, they might just say, well, screw you. So you have to just be careful when you ask them again, like, So yeah.
This is from Radberry saying, I wouldn't mind waiting until 2023 to get Breath of the Wild sequel if it meant we were getting a Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD collection instead for this year. And we have Moonrunner saying hi. Hi, Moonrunner. Dwan says, hey, y'all, how y'all doing tonight? What's up, OJ? I do got a question about Mario Go-Kart. Do they get my heart like a story mode? Oh, yes or no to a story mode, I believe is what it says.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I talked about it in the video.
Yeah, I would like to see a single player, just a fun single player story mode. That'd be fun.
Even if you could just unlock things, like
Shout out
doing
to
single player races, yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Davis.
Doomslayer says, doesn't have to be the whole gimmick, but I'd love to see Mario Kart not include a mode using the team mechanics of Sonic Team Racing. That was super fun. Truly epic. As anyone binge season 2 of The Witcher?
Yep.
I
have.
I'm gonna watching the final episode right after this.
Really good.
It's
Time to
good.
spoil.
No, don't spoil it. No, it's getting so good.
Victor says, I always thought they should have added a Double Dash expansion to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yes, I love it.
And then Yosemite follows up saying Double Dash is the best Mario Kart.
Yes, I love it.
That would completely throw off the mechanic, like the balance of the game though. Like it's not as easy as just.
It would have to be its own separate thing.
It'd have to be its own separate thing. It couldn't be like the tracks might have to be redesigned. Like it's not as like just throw a Double Dash. Like the game would have to be thought about that from the beginning, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah.
Foxy says you can only have one and why? Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI?
Chrono Trigger.
There's
only one Chrono Trigger. There's a bunch of Final Fantasy games. There's only one.
That's a good point.
That is.
There's
actually
Chrono Cross.
a tough question.
That is tough.
I would probably say Chrono Trigger.
That is tough. Final Fantasy VI is very, very good.
He said Mario Fart Deluxe in the comments.
This is Matanumi says, another reminder, Mario Kart 7 is 10 years old.
Yep.
That's not really a bad passage of time. It feels like it came out forever ago.
Well, then ask, what was your favorite fan mod of a Nintendo game? Fan mod of a Nintendo game.
I don't play fan mods, so I don't know.
I was gonna say
I really liked. Well, there was that Metroid game that I really liked. It was basically taking Metroid. It was taking Metroid Prime and making it like in that 2D game, like a 2D Metroid, and that was cool because you used the mouse for aiming on the PC, and obviously it got shut down. But it was like a demo. You can still find it online. It's archived. It was like an hour-long demo. It was very good.
Another Metroid.
Yeah,
pretty good.
There you go. That one. Yeah, I like that one. Symbol says, you guys think we'll ever see a Mario Kart HD collection? Mario 64, Double Dash, and Mario Kart Wii.
No.
Probably not, but I mean, that seems like a lot of value. Lucas says, first time able to catch you guys live. Just wanted to say that MVG seems like he'd be a great dad. Keep up the great work, everyone. Love you guys.
Thank you.
He's a very good father to me.
Shut up, Sean.
This is Hondo saying Mario Kart by GTA Mushroom Kingdom. Day one buy.
Can't wait.
Geeky says, hey John, with GameCube prices being crazy, have you considered collection videos for other systems such as OG Xbox, which is cheap besides Futurama? Yeah, I do kind of want to buy some original Xbox games. I think that's a fun market to get into.
We should talk after this and maybe selling a couple of them.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, very good. Liam says, have any of you ever played a Scribblenauts game? I played one for like 3 hours back in the day, but not much more than that.
I played one. It's a game. I mean, it's fun for what it is.
Right. It was fun for what at the time, like
at
the original
time,
one on the 3DS or whatever it was.
I played it on.
DS.
I think it was on the. I played it on the DS way back when the DS Lite came out, or DS Lite was out, and I got one finally.
Yeah, it had some success. There was multiple games, so yeah.
Oh,
Isn't there one on the Switch?
There's one on the Wii. Yeah, there's one on the Wii U too. There's like I played one on the Wii U. I think there might be one on Switch. I'm not sure. I think there might be. I'm not 100%.
Blue Knight says, I would love to see a Mario Kart that would let you roam in an open area like Burnout Paradise City. That's what a lot of people are saying, as they'd like to see an adventure mode for a Mario Kart. I think that'd be awesome. So
That'd be cool.
Steven says, what happened to cloud gaming offering E3 a safe way to share demos with press and fans at the same time without worrying about people data mining?
LOL.
I don't know. They should do it. They should do that.
Do it.
Taco says, people disregard my praise of games, but call me critical if I criticize others. Are gamers overall really that negative, or do people just not notice praise?
I mean, with anything negative, I think it's going to stand out more.
Yep. I think it's both opinions are valid.
Rickett says, Max looks like he runs a site on the dark web. It's not here anymore, but the one light and like the completely blacked out background. Wyatt says, bring back Nintendo stage shows that have virtual fireworks shows in Nintendo Land for the grand finale. Rumo says, what if they send us a catalog to our homes and it is 4 weeks late? Dragon Heart says, someone said it's not about gamers getting old, but the industry alienating the community. Agreed. Hate the idea of physical being 100% replaced by digital. Thumbs down. NFTs. Thumbs down. Limited run honors Castlevania the right way. The run stuff did look pretty good.
And
it's gonna take a while.
2050 when he
it's just take a long time to get it, man. Rumo says E3 app will fail like the abandoned real-time experience app. People still onto that abandoned thing. Then Rumo asks, do you guys prefer Chick-fil-A or KFC chicken?
KFC.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A is way better.
Chick-fil-A is overpriced dog shit.
There are two different types of chicken.
I wasn't always the biggest fan of KFC.
One is
then
chicken, one is
Nashville
not
hot
chicken.
Nashville hot chicken.
Is that
They
good?
actually
got a Nashville?
Oh, it slaps. It's really
You
good.
can't like KFC is like if you want a bucket of fried chicken with mashed potatoes.
No.
Like Chick-fil-A is like,
How does it
I'm
compare?
going
Have you
in,
had
I'm
actual
getting-
Nashville hot or?
But if you,
Yeah, I mean it's fast food quality, but I
Okay.
think they have a good.
What's-
they have a
what
good
do you-
heat
Because there's
to
a
it.
Nashville place near me, and I'm fine with it. That's fine.
What about the
if you
Chick-fil-A
say-
click?
if you say you want a Chick-fil-A sandwich or you want a KFC sandwich, I'm gonna choose a KFC sandwich because A, it's gonna be cheaper, and two, dude, I remember when I moved to fucking North Carolina, everything. Yeah, you ever had Papa John's? You ever had Chick-fil-A? And I'm like, no, what the fuck is that? And it was the two most disappointing things of possibly my food eating life. I was like, Chick-fil-A, these waffle fries suck my ass. The chicken's okay. The chicken's okay, but it's
This is how you
overpriced.
get
And
canceled.
Papa John's, Papa
is
John's
this.
is fucking terrible.
Papa John's is terrible. Papa John's is terrible, but Chick-fil-A is not bad.
It's not worth the money. You're paying like a restaurant quality price for a goddamn chicken sandwich.
I'm guessing you would hit that. I'm guessing you would hit that KFC double down though. Like that would be your kind of jam.
I can go. I went to McDonald's for the first time like a couple weeks ago because I'm like, let me experiment with calories, right? Because I'm trying to eat more.
First time
Freaking paid almost $10 for like a quarter pounder meal at McDonald's. Was disgusting.
Everything's more expensive. Yeah, everything's more expensive.
That's more expensive than Chick-fil-A. I go to Chick-fil-A and it's like
chicken nuggets.
It's like $8.50 for a freaking large meal, large everything. That's not expensive.
I ain't eating that shit.
Are you
I'll go to
ordering
Taco
it?
Bell.
Is that the thing though? Are you ordering?
No,
it?
I
Are
used to
you
go
one
to the
person?
fucking Chick-fil-A because all these
You went
stupid
outside?
people. And dude, when they opened a Chick-fil-A in our town in high school, it was fucking ridiculous. Like
They're
there were
popular.
lines out the door, and like people were like meeting up there and shit. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And so, because I was just going to like try to find some tail. And like my boy Elijah was like, yo, we gotta go to Chick-fil-A, man. We gotta get this chicken. It's good. I'm like, all right, whatever. And we went there. I was like, this is disgusting. This is overpriced. It's crap. And it sucks. And the drive-through lines are always super long, and they had like 2 different lines. I'm like, you got KFC right over there, man. You got a Bojangles.
Right.
You got a Bojangles. You get the spicy
Bojangles.
seasoned fries. The seasoned fries are amazing at Bojangles.
Oh yeah.
He's very passionate about this. I like it.
I think one too many hooker farts have singed your taste buds.
Could be.
This is Rumo said Sean had his waxing appointment canceled. They said I'm wasting my factor money on these super gems. Fish fan says RGT, what were the good eats of this week, and who won for quicker, better service, Uber Eats or DoorDash? These are the important topics.
So, well, I don't use Uber Eats. I use DoorDash and Grubhub. I like Grubhub because you can select which restaurant you want to go to. Like if there's 2 Taco Bells near you, you could choose which Taco Bell, whereas on Grubhub, it just automatically does it, which can be a problem because the closest Taco Bell to me is at a mall, and sometimes they're not open like normal hours and stuff. Good eats this week. I didn't see Grandma this week because my uncle had COVID and he had seen them, so they were just trying to chill at home and make sure they were good, they were fine or whatever. And then we had a bunch of snow.
Oh yeah, yep. We get some snow.
Got that.
Sean asked who would win in a fight between Samus, Master Chief, Doomslayer, Chris Pratt's Mario, the Knicks starting 5, or RGT's Wax Gmon, Jeff Grubb.
Jeff Grubb.
Well, it's starting 5. Are we talking?
The ones from
current
tonight.
starting 5? No, this one's for tonight. It's fucking suck nutsack, obviously. Didn't even score 80 points. Jesus Christ.
You got your Gmon on that, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. We'll go with that. Sorry, Jeff. This is and Jeff Grubb. I think they're teaming up.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Rumor says family time or crouching in the corner, cold and alone, playing VR.
Oh.
What was the first option?
Family time.
It depends which family.
Okay.
That's very broad.
Truly Epic asked, so was RGT hacked a few days ago or no?
Was I what?
I assume they saw a tweet from you because they asked if you were hacked a few days ago or no. Sean was not hacked. Sean just says whatever on Twitter.
Oh, the Whatnot app, maybe. Some people thought I got hacked. No. Look, people, when you sign up, you get $10 for free. However, when you spend that $10, I also get $10. So I want you to sign up because I get free money and then I can buy shit that I don't need. There's like 200 something pending signups and nobody's buying anything. Buy something and then we all win. And then I can buy more shit. Let's see. There are
At least
246 pending invites. Spend some money on there. That's good people that run it anyways.
EL says if Nintendo announced they were building a car, would it be in a Nintendo Direct? Probably, if they were building a car.
Yep.
Ship asked the cast, what do each of you think of NFTs and where do you think the future of gaming is headed with them? Also, are NFTs like digital downloads? No. NFTs are digital receipts.
I feel like we kind of already shared our.
Yeah.
If I don't own that Castlevania song, fuck it.
And they're probably not going to be used in the way that I would like them to be used, which is digital ownership for games that we buy on these stores. But yeah, you'll see you'll see a lot of third-party companies try it just because they don't have a storefront to protect. So Square is going to do something. Like I said, I kind of feel bad because I think Final Fantasy 14 is going to eat that one. But
Every
we'll
company's
see.
going to do something.
Yeah, like if they don't have a digital storefront that they need to keep like closed off, I think they'll try it. So everyone will, and the big ones won't care if people yell at them. They'll just keep doing it. Unless it doesn't sell, we'll see. If this Castlevania stuff doesn't do well, maybe Konami's just like, yeah, we tried.
It's gonna sell.
Yeah.
Be ready.
Matt said there's a new VR mod that lets you play Resident Evil 2, 3, and Village on the Quest 2. Sean, you hear that?
What?
Yeah, you have to use a cable to the computer to play it.
I don't have one. It's just a USB-C cable.
This is from Eric saying, have you heard about Taco Bell's subscription?
Oh, it's like 10. Isn't it like $10 a month or something like that?
$10 a month, one taco every day.
Whoa, you hear that, Sean?
It's not bad.
Do that also cover the cost of a triple bypass in like 5 years?
I mean, but
buy the NFT.
That kind of sucks though, because you're not just gonna eat one taco. You're gonna buy something else.
Yeah, whole thing.
That's why they're doing it.
Yeah. Who wants to get? Hey, I got my taco for today. Like, who did that's?
It's like a midday taco. Like you're getting out, and you're like,
that's corny.
Just get my taco.
It's one per day for a whole month for $10.
That's terrible.
So I feel like
only
if
one taco.
So I feel like if a ton of people,
them?
no, I feel like if a ton of people banded together, did this, and literally got it every day for a month, they would just bankrupt Taco Bell.
This is a that's you're better off just going to the store and buying a bunch of Taco Bell taco shells and buying some ground and just making it. It tastes better when you
For
make it yourself
$10 a day,
anyway.
you too can shut down all Taco Bells.
Can I choose
Sometimes
to
you
save
just
them up
want
and
a
then get
terrible
free 7
greasy taco.
tacos at the end of the week? I
No,
do
it
like
doesn't
once a
work like
week,
that.
free 7 tacos.
You have 24 hours to redeem your daily taco for the next one.
That's terrible.
Your taco NFT for the day.
Here you go, Sean.
Yeah.
This from Ann says,
only redeem it once.
Silent Hill VR, all caps.
That's not real though.
I feel like Silent Hill really comes from that fixed camera angle, like the overall great feeling from it. So I don't know.
Roman says $600 for PSVR. That's cute, but you're forgetting about the scalper tax. More like $1,200.
Yeah.
Probably. Alyx says you can play all Mass Effects on PSVR with mods.
Yeah, with mods. Not
Yeah,
mods.
Lipson says, have any of you tried Ace Combat 7 VR? I know they're working on a new title with Ilka. Could work well with PSVR 2 wherever it gets announced. I tried it very briefly.
I tried
It's
it.
cool.
It's cool.
But I think it is asking for that next, because if you have those sense controllers and you have all the different buttons and things you can do when it comes to the grip you have on it, which fingers are pressing, all the, like there's a lot you could do, I'm sure, with the controls in the plane itself. So
there was some really cool tech demos. One of the Star Wars Battlefronts had a VR mode as well. That was really fun. You're in like the X-wing cockpit and stuff. That was pretty cool. I mean, there was some really cool stuff with the PSVR 4, but I feel like, yeah, this isn't really now the time for some cool shit to happen. So we'll see.
Time for the Oculus Quest 2.
This is from RDX saying Days Gone fail, Ghost Tsushima big success. Well, one got a good Metacritic score, the other one didn't. So Ross says, my speculation, I think Persona 4 Golden will be announced at the next Nintendo Direct, and it will crash the eShop by shadow dropping. It'd be a pretty big announcement if they did that. Yum says, happy birthday to my sister, Pauline Ann Raisin. It's her birthday today, January 8th.
Birthday.
Birthday.
Happy birthday.
Banana says, a Body Harvest remake would be awesome. I love that game, but it needs help as it hasn't aged well. Hitso says, Quest 64 needs to be remade. Brian's immensely underrated story needs to be brought to modern hardware. The fact that Sora was brought to Smash Bros, but Quest 64's Brian is nowhere to be seen.
You made Jordan leave with your Quest 64.
Oh, man. Ross says, Microsoft failed in Japan for the same reason Ford and GM failed in Japan. Japanese only buy from Japanese unless they have no choice.
Yeah, we saw those pictures, I thought, of Xboxes under signs that were written that just said American shit.
Oh.
You know what? That's exactly why Apple does so well in Japan. They only buy from, wait. I don't think that's it, man. But I see what he's saying, but I don't think that's
Nah.
I mean, most Apple stuff is made over there, so.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go that far.
No, but there's plenty of American. There's plenty of
Yeah.
American products that do well in Japan, or like stuff that's from there. I mean, have you seen like the rap scene in Japan? Like how they they like a lot of American stuff.
All right. Shinru says, what character has the best power suit and armor? Batman, Iron Man, Master Chief, or Samus fully upgraded? Best armor? It's probably Iron Man if you really think about it.
Samus, fuck Iron Man.
Fully upgraded though?
Batman.
Samus looks pretty dope in like Dread.
Iron Man does have superior tech.
Are we talking about Samus at the end of the game of Dread?
Yes.
We don't.
Yes.
I'm not going to spoil it, but we talking Samus at the end of the game? No. Samus at the end of the game of Dread? Oh,
After
no.
Dread.
100%.
1000%.
Even with Iron Man when he has like the nanotechnology and everything?
Come on, the end of Dread, John. The end
But he has
of Dread.
that I
Iron
understand,
Man's
but he has the
good too.
nanotechnology. He could literally become the Samus from the end of Dread by just
It's
thinking
also
it.
linked into satellites. You can call down
Yes.
other
Could
suits
he
and
though?
shit.
Yeah.
Could he really though?
I can't tell you what happened in the new Spider-Man movie because it might spoil it for people, but after seeing it there, even, I mean, yeah, it's the nanotech puts him over
Both
the
of
top.
them were dope. How
Makes
about
them
this?
like-
They're both dope. They're both good. They're both super good. They're both super good. That's what I'll say.
Jeff Grubbs Game Mess says DS games seem to look better on DS than 3DS, so I bought a DSi XL. They're pretty cheap right now. Should I get a flash card or should I hack it? Oh, that's a good MVG question.
You can do both, and you're on the money, Jeff. The DSi has the best screen out of all the DS and 3DS combos. I would say get the R4 Gold, the one they sell on Amazon, and also just hack it as well, because the R4 will allow you to play DS games, but I don't think it'll allow you to play DSi games. So you still, if you want to play DSi games, you're going to have to hack the thing, which is really easy to do as well.
CW says, what do you think of the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus? I'd look into that. There's so many of these like handheld emulators out there right now. MTS says, will the next Nintendo home console have a Switch cartridge port, or will they raid and port the best of library like they did with the Wii U? I have to imagine it's going to have a Switch cartridge slot, and they'll just keep using cartridges.
I think it's backwards compatible. Nintendo's usually pretty good with that. The only reason why Wii U was a completely different format change. They went from disc to cartridges, so they kind of had to. But like the Wii to Wii U, their portable systems have been very good. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, whatever, or DS, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, DS. So yeah, I just see them doing that.
Bagman says, go Niners. We'll see.
Oh my God,
we'll
don't.
See. Ross says,
my heart, don't.
We'll see how that circus turns out. Ross says,
oh my gosh.
I had an argument a year ago with my wife's parents about Pokemon. They said Pokemon are just demons. If they saw SMT, I would have. If they said SMT, I would have agreed.
Yeah, actual demons too.
Yeah, Shinru says, I'm with you, RG. Never played Earthbound or Undertale. Both, in my opinion, are overrated games.
Agreed.
Just because you don't like something doesn't mean it's overrated. It just means you just don't like it. That's
Juice Man Vaughn says, thoughts on 500 hours, 100% Dying Light 2.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take in right there.
Sounds like marketing. Sounds like marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, who made that call that it's 500 hours? Because some hardcore gamers is going to blast through that game in like 50 hours or something.
They'll find a glitch or a hack or something.
Yep.
Duan says, hey, what's up? How you doing today? Oh, that's the one with the Mario. Oh, why did it show up twice? Oh, shout out to Duan. G-Million says, John is sexy meat. Thanks, G-Million. Toxic says, hey, I missed most of the show, so if you already talked about this, I apologize. What do you think about Ubisoft Plus on Game Pass? Well, Ubisoft Plus isn't on Game Pass right now, but I think it could go there eventually, depending on if Microsoft wants to write that check. But Rainbow Six will go on there, and I was not going to buy Extraction at all, but I'll download it and try it out for like an hour. Why not?
It looks fun.
Genova says, when do you guys think FF7 Part 2 will end? When do you think when it'll come out or when it'll end? I mean, I don't think it's going to come out for another like 2 years.
2030.
It's going to be a while. Hellman says, please stop. This is repulsive. Well, it worked out. We stopped eventually.
Yeah.
Gambit's
poop talk?
Yeah, Gambit with the dizzy face. Shinru says, what does everyone prefer for racing games? Sims like Forza and Gran Turismo, or wacky kart racer like Mario Kart and Crash Team Racing? I like the in between. Like I like Forza
both.
Horizon. That's
want
like the
both.
in between. But yeah, I mean the both obviously. But the in between's nice too. But like occasionally you feel like Crash Team Racing or Mario Kart, you can jump over to Gran Turismo.
I don't consider them the same. I consider them like different things.
Yeah.
Just ultimately, because like one's like combat racing, like Twisted Metal, all that stuff is like in one category.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is from Fist saying, I'm going to store Chick-fil-A in my KFC console. Zaire says, has y'all heard about Scott Pilgrim anime in the works? Yes, I'm terrified. I hope it's good. Shinru says, at my job, we have a coffee subscription, $9 monthly. There we go. I still have to go over to Streamlabs. I'm going to go around here as we finish up. Sean, RGT, where can everyone find you, our resident VR expert?
You can find me on RGT85 on all forms of social media. You can also find me on the Extras channel. I think it's just called RGT Live and Extras or something like that. I'll probably have some more content. I was actually gonna do my VR video on there, but then I realized it's January, so like nothing matters because nobody's making videos anyways because the money is shit. Because no advertisements are really running on them because nobody's putting money into advertisements. So why not talk about VR on the main channel? So that'll be up tomorrow at some point.
I hope it explodes and you legitimately just turn into the VR guy.
It won't. Nobody cares about Resident Evil 4 for Oculus Quest 2.
You'll be surprised.
I care.
4 million views later.
I care about Half-Life Alyx on Oculus Quest 2.
Yeah,
so
you should do that, Sean.
You should.
That'd be cool.
I'll figure it out.
Because apparently I'm spending $1,100 unless you show me how to do this.
I put the YouTube video down in the Discord.
I want you to do it.
Oh, it's gonna be tough.
Andrew says, so glad to have a Spawncast on my 18th birthday.
Oh,
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Andrew, happy birthday. Digital says, if you own Doom 3 or Half-Life 1 on Steam, there's a super easy mod by Dr. Beef that allows you to play them standalone on the Quest 2, and it's great. Doom 3 on the Quest 2, Sean? There's a big scene around the Quest 2 right now.
Wait, do you like hold the flashlight with the left hand and the gun with the right hand?
Seems like it.
I'm gonna look it up now.
MVG about to drop that Quest 2 in the cart already. I'd watch a video from MVG about the Quest 2.
I'd watch you taking one apart. That'd be cool.
That'd be interesting too. Oh man. Afropunk says, are there any Armored Core fans on the Spawncast? Yes, Armored Core was awesome back in the PS2, and then on the PS3 it was actually pretty good there too. I know they had one on the 360, Armored Core 4, that was good, but like I remember Armored Core 4 Answer on the PS3 was pretty good.
I like Armored Core. I played the old school ones back in the day too.
That's the one you took home, I think, one time, Evan. We were fixing PS3s, and you're like, I kind of want to play this Armored Core game.
It was awesome.
I'm gonna go take this PS3 home. And we were just like, all right. And it was like, Evan, the PC guy's taking the PS3 home. What's this about? So. Yeah, Armored Core was great. There is a rumor that a new one is coming from Software. So I think it'll happen. It'll be cool. Let's see, Miss Click, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. You can find me here on YouTube as Miss Click Gaming. Have a couple new channels that are gonna be launching soon, so I'll talk about more of those on social media.
Channels.
And then also you can find me on Twitch, where I'm actually very excited because Monday, there was a lot of chaos this week, so we didn't get to start it. But Monday, we're going to be starting the Halo playthrough. So, yeah, it's been highly requested. So we're going to be starting with the campaign there. We're going to be going through those in launch order, and it'll be great. So you can find me there on Twitch as just misclick or misclick_live. Other than that, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter as misclick.
Everyone has to go check that out. That'll be an interesting first playthrough.
I'm really excited. It's going to be fun. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Console fanboy asked Miss Click, I love that blanket. What does it say on it, and where can I get it?
This one is the Breath of the Wild, the Zelda, like the Z with the Triforce, or with the Master Sword through it. It was a gift someone got me, but I would assume it's from like ThinkGeek or something.
Okay. Massive says, what's up everyone? Happy New Year to all. Bothers me how everyone who has already attended says, oh yeah, no big deal, E3 can go, not realizing that many of us are still itching to go.
It sucks.
I'm telling you to stop itching. That's what I'm telling you to do. Stop itching. It ain't anything, and I'm telling you, it's really not. It's
I would still like to go. I just want to see it once.
E3's fun. Don't listen to OJ. He's right. The food's really expensive.
Although, to be fair, I would go and want to meet people. It wouldn't necessarily just be me showing up like, oh, this is just E3.
Going there and standing in line, if we all went and we hung out, that would be the best E3 ever. But standing in line to wait 6 hours to play one game, that's not fun. MVG's talking about from a networking standpoint, because he's hanging out with Punk and hanging out. Yeah, you hang out with these cool dudes, these cool girls and everything. That's dope. But just going there to stand in line to play a game, you're gonna wait all day.
Yeah, if you're going to E3 to play video games, you'll be extremely.
I would want to go there if I was going to really go. I'd want to go at like some sort of media or something, just to have that like at least somewhat guaranteed to play something.
If we could go to E3, it'd be dope, because I'd be like, yo, you guys can all come here. You know what I'm saying? You guys can all come to my house, and then we can all go from there. That would be extremely fun. I think we were talking about that, John. Like, you can just stop by here, then we can go. But then this whole virus thing happened. But like, that's fun. So I don't want to sit there and act like, you know, it's not. But like, if you're going there and you don't know anybody, no, that's not. I'm telling you, it's not fun, because that's what happened to me back in 2014, 2015. I didn't know anybody, and I just go there and I'm just standing in line all day. You know? So I mean, but hey, whatever.
FonCon.
Liam says that I don't understand why the cancellation as people think E3 is dead. Yes, it was on the way out, but Omicron just sprung up, and naturally they want it to be safe rather than sorry. I think people are reading into the cancellation way too much. It's because they apparently were looking to cancel it basically in November. Is what the word is right now. So they were already kind of like, it's not going to work. And people are theorizing that could have to do with publishers just not being interested in E3. So let's see. Then we have Lewis saying Spawncast in California when? Almost.
Yeah.
We were going to be going to E3
hopefully.
and now, well. Then Console Fanboy says, there any way Miss Click could say hi, Console Fanboy?
Hi, Console Fanboy.
Let's see. Let's go to MVG. Where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Modern Vintage G and YouTube Modern Vintage Gamer. Video on Monday, and whatever else happens next week. Maybe Nate and I will have an episode out next week. I'll have to see what's going on there. But yeah, that's all. Thanks for having me on.
About Jordan, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on the YouTube channel Jordan Fringe. This week we've crossed 200,000 subscribers, so I'm very thankful for the support. Almost at 210, so I appreciate it. Thanks for
Look at you, look at you, man.
Jordan, man, he's
doing things.
Don't forget about us.
Yeah, PewDiePie's next.
Yep. OJ, where can everyone find you, man?
Yeah, right here on YouTube. God, Jordan's so stupid. All right, right here on YouTube. Player says, I got some cool content coming up on the channel. So I hate Jordan. I got some cool content coming on the channel, so it should be fun. We're gonna be looking at some cool RPGs that are coming out for the Switch this year. Getting ready for Triangle Strategy. So if you're into RPGs, if you're into action games and all that, check it out. Elden Ring, I want to get more into that game, so might be checking that out. So I'll have a bunch of content on a bunch of the cool RPGs coming out this year and next month, and of course the end of this month. So if you're into those type of games, check out the channel.
About Evan,
you can find me on Twitter at Kimmerich Project. If I'm doing any streaming or if anything's coming up, I'll usually just post it up there.
Okay. Congratulations to Tyler Hardy. He says I just wanted to be the last. There you go. That's going to do it here for Spawncast. Thanks everyone for joining us. We'll be back next Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Think for yourself.